to the Chemistry Podcast, episode number
312. Yoink.
If you could speak one language outside of English, what would you want to speak?
Probably Espanol because you would use that.
Everyone knows that.
Well, because you would use it more.
Yeah,
like,
but everyone
I would need
can
it.
speak Spanish.
No, you didn't speak Spanish.
Hola, me llamo
Get outta
Andres.
here.
No, like everyone
Get
knows
outta here.
that. Like everyone knows that. Give me another language besides that.
Would be cool if you spoke Chinese.
Thank you.
There's a billion people. You know, you probably make a lot of money because you can go over there and make money and talk and communicate with all the big businesses in China that we deal with. China.
Do you know what's called Mandarin?
Mandarin? Yeah.
Do you know if you can speak Chinese or Mandarin, I should say?
Andy looked something up today before we came in. I knew he was going to say it. I knew something was coming like this.
No.
He had a little bit of time and he's looking stuff up.
No.
Go ahead.
If you can
Go ahead.
If you can speak Mandarin, do you know that
Mandarin.
it's like a minimum like $500,000 job?
Yeah, no, you would have a lot of opportunity.
Major corporation
no doubt.
hires you to go over and
I just said that.
and work, and you go to China for work, and you do
legitimately-
meetings and all that stuff.
Legitimately just said that.
Minimum 500.
Legitimately just said that. You know.
Did you say that exactly?
I did. I said you have a ton of opportunity.
So-
It's very difficult.
So
is Russian.
Years ago, So Taguchi, he was a baseball player for the St. Louis Cardinals, and I knew his interpreter.
So Taguchi.
I don't think
he's pretty good.
Oh, great guy.
He's pretty good. Great guy.
Wonderful guy.
Good pitcher.
He was not a pitcher.
Whatever.
He had good hands. He had good range.
Whatever.
What
What about him?
He could take the ball to the opposite
What
field.
about him? What about him? What about him?
So I became friends with the interpreter. I actually knew the interpreter beforehand, but
Was he friends with Otani's interpreter?
Yes. Well,
Who's
Ichiro.
probably getting
He was
you know what in prison right now?
Otani.
Otani's interpreter
we'll
that stole money from
Okay,
him.
we'll get to that. In
Sorry,
just a
I didn't mean to
second.
disrupt this.
We'll
Go
get
ahead.
to that.
Go ahead.
Because
My
I'm not familiar with that story, which I should be because
The biggest story going for a long time in
Well,
the sports world.
it's
What do you do
when
all
you're
day?
in the mix.
What do you do
with-
all day?
When you're in the mix and you're learning Mandarin, you're doing some different
Mandarin.
things. You're not paying attention to like a lot of that stuff.
Andy
that's
met a
going
Chinese family in the youth hockey, and now he's talking about
on.
it.
I don't
And
know if they were Chinese.
Well, you said they were
you said
Chinese.
you shouldn't say that.
You shouldn't because they could be a lot of different things.
Mhm.
And I don't think you know.
I don't know. It could be Japanese.
I
it
could hear them
be-
speak and have a good idea.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you know if it's Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese,
They are all
Korean.
completely different. They speak completely different.
Give me you don't have to give me an example,
okay.
but explain to me the difference.
That's
Japanese.
Japanese, and then
Give me another one,
I would say
because I'm 1 for 1 on this.
Vietnamese is like ding 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 ding
Yeah.
kind of thing. You know,
Yeah.
not to be what you asked. Listen, go on YouTube, and there's this cat who is Asian, and he'll run down every
He
single.
explains the different.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
We're not chirping.
I wish I could speak. So anyway, my point
Come
is,
on, let's get going with this damn
I
story.
meet the interpreter,
God, Daddy.
and I decide that I'm going to try to go in that business, and I'm going to learn Mandarin, and I'm going to be an
Mandarin?
interpreter for
Good for
or
you.
Japanese, really.
Andy's a little bit of everything.
Okay,
He's a jack of all trades.
And I'm going to learn Japanese and become an interpreter for professional baseball players. Ichiro, all these dudes.
Ichiro?
Those interpreters were making so much money back in the day, Cam.
Yeah, no, they still are. You know, and then you can embezzle money.
Okay,
From
so
the
what
pla-
happened with Otani?
Well, he had a huge gambling problem, and people thought Otani did too.
Ohtani
No. The interpreter
Mhm.
had a huge gambling problem.
Mhm.
He was taking care of. I guess he was Otani's buddy. He's taking care of his finances, stuff like that, which you never want to do. But Otani's like, just do what you have to. Sometimes when you're that big, man, you trust somebody because there's so much going on in your life. You just want somebody to take care of it that you could trust. Obviously, this guy was not trustworthy at all. Stole a bunch of money, had a huge gambling problem. They tried to tie it to Shohei Ohtani. Nothing really went down. They thought Ohtani was going to have a shitty year this year because he had so much pressure and people
One
chirping.
of the best years
And
in
he just
history.
kicked ass and took names, baby. I like him. He's not been great in the playoffs so far, which I love watching playoff baseball. But anyway, he embezzled all this money. He's in jail. Tens of millions of dollars.
No.
Yes.
From Otani?
Yes. And so
Did he notice the money was missing?
No, he didn't.
Tens of millions?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 50, 60 million?
I think it was like 18 or something like that over some time.
Well, that's not tens of millions. That's
Yeah.
like not
Oh,
even two
whatever.
tens.
Maybe more than that. Who knows, dude?
Damn.
I know. A lot of money.
Michael Pekka had that happen to him, remember?
Yes, we had him on talking about that, didn't we?
Could you imagine somebody who you know, who you trust, who's like your financial advisor, steals your money? Would anything?
It
There's few
happens so
things.
much more than
There's
you could
few
possibly
things that would
Andy.
enrage me more. I mean,
Well, I know
obviously,
you and money because he's tighter than wallpaper, of course. Never mind, like somebody messing with his kids. Is
no, that
taking
would
his
do
money.
it too.
Is taking his money. No wonder he brought that up. No, but no, that happens.
Dude.
Hey, Maddie, like that's where his mind is.
I mean,
That's
Cam,
it is what it is.
that
You
would-
said it yourself.
no.
Well, of course, I pissed
If
you
they
off.
mess with my kids, you don't think I'd get upset?
Is that why you teamed up with me? Because you know I would never do something like that. Am I honest? I'm a pretty trustworthy guy, aren't I?
You're pretty
When it
good.
comes to that
You're
stuff.
pretty good.
But that happens way more
You've
than
been sleeping in recently, and you didn't prepare for
My
the
dad's
show
been sick.
last
No,
Friday.
my dad's been
I bring
sick.
this guy in for the show Friday. He doesn't prepare. Doesn't watch the games the night before.
Get on with yourself. My dad was sick. He's in the hospital. He's getting out today. Everything's good.
How's he doing?
He's got a lot going on. His legs went paralyzed. Like,
Oh
he got
my
sick.
God.
I was over there the other day, hanging out with him. He's like, I'm not feeling good. I'm like, okay, we're gonna give you a fucking care package. Kate and I, we're gonna take care of you. What do you need? We'll get this. We'll get that. Gatorade to this or that. Whatever the case is. We're like, you'll be better. He's older. Obviously,
I
so
heard
many-
him yelling at you when you came into the house one day. I'm
settle
on the phone with
down.
Cam, and
He
he's
gets-
like, get out of here!
No, I'm not getting out. I'll suck it up. You just let me take care of you. Damn it.
You sound like one of those crazy
Sometimes I gotta put him in
crazies.
his fucking place, man.
Yeah.
And so anyway, he got sick. And
Cam's like, calm down.
I go, calm down, damn it. And then after a while, he calms down, and everything's
That's
fine.
elderly abuse, dude. The way you were talking to him.
Oh, stop. Trust me. We got a good relationship. Anyway, so he got sick, and he just had a bunch of things going on. The bottom line is he needs to stop drinking completely.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, his liver's beat up, and it affects a lot of your body. Okay,
Mhm.
it does. After a while, man, it does. So if you get a little bit of an infection somewhere and you don't have that that filtration system, which is your liver, then you're gonna have issues. So he's okay. He's just got to watch it. I'm gonna keep an eye on him. He's it's gonna. I don't think it'll be as tough as you think. He doesn't drink too much, but he has to stop. So
Is that what they tell him?
yeah, he just has to stop. He's
So
not in total. It's still functional, but you just go older.
Well,
you know?
you had originally told me, because I was trying to diagnose it from afar.
Of course. Where Andy wants to be a doctor and
Because-
speak Mandarin.
because Cam was explaining to me what was going on,
Yeah.
and I explained to him that I thought it was an infection, because you said it was in his back, spinal, which led
I
to
thought it was Lyme disease.
lack of movement in his legs. But you told me the organs were fine; they weren't shutting down.
They are and they're not, right? Like the liver's not in complete destruction, but it could be there if you keep feeding it booze.
Can you
and it
explain
pops
how the liver functions?
up due to your filtration system.
Okay.
You know,
Like everything operates through. If liver shuts down,
it just yes.
can you
so-
survive? Or
So listen, when your liver shuts down, and people know, dude, because this happens to a lot of people. There's a
Yeah.
lot of heavy drinkers.
liver transplants and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. But when you get older, that's tough to do, man. You know, they want to give that to maybe a kid that was unfortunate, whatever the case is. But you'll know because you'll turn yellow. It happened to my dad years ago when I was inducted to Amateur Hockey Hall of Fame. Everybody's like, he does not look good. I didn't
Really?
fucking notice it because I see him every day. But if you didn't see him for a goddamn year, you're like, he does not look good. He was bloated. You're very sensitive. So your stomach will bloat. And if you poke it and it's sensitive, you got fucking something
Wow.
going on with your liver. You turn yellow. You start getting dysfunctional, a little bit yellow in your eyes. Like you just kind of, it fucks with your head. So it's scary. It is. It is scary. So it is something that we all need to think about, especially me too, man. I like my drinks, okay? I do. My mom did as well. It runs in our family. And
Is this what happened to your mom?
that-
Like same
There's-
exact situation?
yeah, I think my mom,
Was it more liver?
to be honest and to be candid with all the fans out there that we love,
We keep it
we
real.
fucking keep it real on here. I think my mother was so afraid of dying or of my dad dying before her
Mm.
that she did not take care of herself when a lot of damage was done to her body. And I this is not too abnormal with when you get
Couples.
older.
Mhm.
And like I would have took care of my mom. I just think she loved my dad so much that she didn't want to live. And my dad had all these scares. My mom was taking care of him, taking care of him, and it fucked her up. And she's thinking the whole time, what if he's gonna die? I remember me and my brother going to Lake of the Ozarks. We had to get away just for like a retreat, and we're just like, Dad's fucked. And then it was my mom. It's just a weird how it worked, but I think that's what the case was. And my dad, but if he doesn't give a shit, he's gonna go home and start drinking. But I think he does. He loves listening to us on the fucking radio. I go over there every goddamn day. Bear, he walks Bear. He could do whatever he wants in that neighborhood. He could walk down Eureka and sign autographs. Like, people love him. He's got a good life right now. He's got a lot of people around him. It's funny now. I think it's a little wake-up call for him. When you get sick and you're in a hospital, you don't realize how many people really care about you and reach out. I mean, everybody's calling me like, what do you mean we do? What do you mean we do? What do we do? So I think that was like a little wake-up call. Like, I need to stick around for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sometimes,
anyway, sorry.
sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that.
My stomach is fucked up today, just so all y'all know.
Who's walking the dog, and more importantly, who's brushing that dog, because it's about to get shaved again. If it gets matted again,
get on with yourself.
It gets matted. They don't brush the dog, so they have to shave it because it gets matted.
My dad literally, and they said you keep walking. It's the best thing for you. Your spine, all that stuff.
Really?
Keep walking. My dad will walk 10 miles a fucking day. 10 miles. He does more exercise than I do, which is, I need to figure that part out. But he does. That dog is treated like a king, dude. Totally.
I have neighbors, great neighbors. Wonderful, wonderful neighbors.
The ones that don't cut the grass. I mean, Andy's house is lovely house, beautiful. I love his backyard. But his neighbors are goddamn Hoosiers. They're Hoosiers.
But they're not your typical.
Well, why are they Hoosiers though? That's unacceptable. You're in the poor part of Ladue, but you're in Ladue. You need to put your foot down.
They're not even like American.
Okay. Cut your grass.
You have to be an American to be a Hoosier?
No.
Really?
Hell no.
Are you positive about that?
Hell no. You don't think there's Hoosiers in Canada? You don't think there's Hoosiers everywhere around the world? A Hoosier is, it's not just middle of America.
Kind of is.
That's where you got it from, because I see that on a daily basis. Even living where I live, you can see guys that are.
I think this is more cultural.
It's just.
Okay,
they're usually good people, but it makes you.
Can you hear me out?
What?
This is more cultural. In certain countries, Cam, and I've got a lot of neighbors who are from all over the world.
Which is.
No, they are.
Never mind.
They are.
It's always good when you have very multicultural. Very multicultural.
One guy was walking through the neighborhood today, just doing Tai Chi the whole time. It was like. Just working it out.
Like he knows what Tai Chi is. Go ahead.
Go ahead. He does.
Go ahead.
He's probably 8th generation.
So they don't cut their grass because they're from India.
Okay, why are you trying to?
Because you said that
you're trying to identify.
He's from India.
Who is?
The guy right across from you. What's his name? Harveen or something? Parveen?
Yeah.
They're from India.
He's next to me.
They're from India.
Yeah.
So are you saying they don't do that in India? Now, some spots they probably don't, but I bet you in wealthy neighborhoods
I feel like there is some cultural where
assimilate then.
Okay, let me explain.
Because you have to cut your grass.
I don't think, like, I'm a little more neurotic about my yard.
Looks good.
I pay for somebody to come out and manage the not just Jose who cuts the grass,
Hector?
but the other guy who comes in, like, takes care of it, like the True Green guy. You know?
Yeah.
They charge way too much. I don't know what they do.
Get him on as a sponsor,
but they show up.
Get them on as a, yeah, because they want to make that money.
Okay, so it keeps it nice and green and all that type of stuff. In other cultures, Cam, I don't think they probably pay as much attention nor care as much about their yard or
Depends on where you're at, dude. You're in Mexico, you don't have a yard. If you're in Canada, a lot of times, like, you know.
Oh, they take care of their yards probably.
Yeah, in Canada. Dude, go to England, man. The yards are beautiful.
I'm sure.
Like, people have nice little, they call it the gardens in their backyard. It's really quite lovely, actually.
Oh,
in Asia, but listen, Andy's trying to make an excuse for his neighbors being Hoosiers, and I'm just like, that's unacceptable in my opinion.
But they're very successful, like, professionals.
Which is, but that
makes it worse. Normally you wouldn't associate that with a Hoosier. No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, you can, dude.
Well,
you don't have to be poor to be a Hoosier. You could just be a rich Hoosier too, man. I see that left and right, man. You're damn right, dude. Yeah, their kids are riding 4-wheelers in your backyard. Their dogs are running wild. Yeah, they got nice cars, but they're fucking shits everywhere.
Nelly let his house go.
Nelly.
He did a good performance at the AMAs.
Whatever with Nelly.
He had Chingy on there. He had
I went up to him and I told
Murphy
you
Lee.
He's in Eureka at the time, you know, and I was with a young kid, and I was at the fireworks stand.
Young kid? Is that a rapper?
I was a young kid at the time, and I was like, Nelly popped up, you know, like in the late 90s in St. Louis, man. He was the biggest thing going, obviously. So me and my buddies at that fireworks stand, and I go up to him with his, you know, entourage, and I go, hi, Nelly, hey, I just want to say hi. Just get out of here.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Oh, my
I never
God.
forgot that, dude.
Nelly.
I'm bothering you at the fucking fireworks stand?
Can we Can we make amends with that? Can
I've
bring
seen
him
him
in
other
here?
places too, here and there, at like events and stuff. I never really talked to him. That rattled me as a kid, and always remember that if you're a star or you're a hockey player, listening, guys, listen, whatever it is, man, like you just little things, dude, just little things like that. He's just like, get out of here. I'm like, you're at a fireworks stand.
Golly.
Are you like that busy right now? You're literally at a fireworks stand.
I like that hat from Hat Launch you got on right
Isn't it
now.
cool?
Yeah, it's not bad. You haven't worn that very often.
I'll tell you this right now, though. If you want me to come out and judge any type of food, I'll do it. And I will bring, listen, I'm telling you, I'll do it right. I did this last night with chili. That's why my stomach's so gosh dang beat up. I did all the restaurants in Eureka, went to Oktoberfest in Eureka, said hi to all my old friends and stuff like that. And I did a chili cook-off, and I was a judge.
Dude.
And I tried so much chili. And after a while, I'm like this, oh, God. Okay, Kate's like, I'm going to hang out longer. I'm like, girl, we got to go. She's like, my friends are here. I'm like, there's no like, you go to the bathroom, there's lineup. So if I have to do my thing after this.
A good chili shouldn't do that to you.
I had 15 different ones, and I took my time. Andy.
Any terrible?
Yeah.
Like watery? No flavor?
Oh, yeah. I was really hard.
I like that.
The two that won, by the way, they're going to be in the paper, and I'm going to probably.
What paper? The Eureka Times?
The Eureka Times or whatever it is. Super Smokers #1 and Joe Bacardi's #2, baby. They had no idea.
Dude, you faked it
no,
for them.
No.
Yeah, you did.
Dude, we had no idea. We had no idea. We just had a number, dude. We had a number.
Super Smokers makes chili?
The barbecue place makes chili?
I didn't know that.
Andy. Andy was probably watching my little Instagram story, and he's probably puked because he saw all that beef and
Dude, who goes to barbecue place and orders chili?
Tons of people do.
No one does.
That's how ignorant you are.
You go to a diner to order chili.
No. Barbecue places in the fall time having chili? Are you out of your mind?
Never heard of that.
You're goddamn right.
Never heard of that.
That's why they put they put brisket in there. They put all kinds of stuff in there, dude.
Do you know chili's one thing I will not order from a restaurant?
Andy, you're not ordering a ton of things from restaurants. Like, what are we doing?
No.
God.
I'm not ordering chili from a restaurant. Chili is something that is to be made at home in the crock pot all day long.
Andy, you're right.
Thank you. With oyster crackers.
Yeah, but what do you put in your chili?
Oh, man.
It's probably disgusting. Dude. What is it? Tofu?
First off, no.
What is it?
A lot of chili powder.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else do you put in it? Go ahead.
Some paprika.
No. I know the spices. What meat do you put in there?
You know, sometimes I make a veggie chili, which is fine. No, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of, like five different types of beans.
I'm never coming over to your house for any sort of dinner thing.
Five different types of beans. Okay?
Bean and veggies only?
No. But
it ain't my jam, baby.
I'll make a meat chili too, and I'll tell you.
What meat chili? What kind of meat?
Hamburger meat. Beef.
Do you eat it? See, that's the bitch of it, man. Andy will cook everything, and then he won't eat it, and it's like, I don't eat people's food that you're not going to eat.
Do you want to know what a famous recipe is in my family, actually? And people have asked
salad
for it for years and years and years. It goes down from my grandmother's salad. Maddie, come on now.
Maddie's like, I ain't going over there either.
Hey, clam chowder.
I like clam chowder.
I'll make you a clam chowder, Cam.
That's fine.
I might eat come judge that.
You don't cook enough for me to be
come
excited.
Judge that.
Andy's so goddamn busy. He doesn't cook enough for me to really be excited.
Lobster bisque.
Yeah, I mean lobster bisque. I'll eat that at a nice steakhouse sometimes, stuff like that.
You chirp me for getting lobster bisque at a nice steakhouse.
Andy takes his son, who doesn't even probably know what lobster is at this point.
No, he wanted lobster bisque.
Okay. Take him to a diner. Andy takes him to Ruth Chris and just takes a picture and look, little Ty's first time eating lobster bisque, and it's going to be like $90. Take him to a fucking,
Well, I wanted it to be good.
Yeah, but it was unnecessary.
I don't need you.
And then he takes a picture to show off, little virtue signal. I'm going.
Was it?
I'm not even eating. This is just for Ty, and I'm going to go to Ruth Chris. Take him to a diner. Take him to a diner.
All right, first off, I'm not hanging out in here all day long after you're eating chili all night yesterday.
I don't fart in front of people. I told. Listen to me.
I know.
No. I don't do it. The only person.
What about your wife?
That's the only one. She's the only person.
Will you hold back whatsoever? Just
in front of guys in the locker room. Mm-hmm. I don't do it in front of the guys in the locker room. I don't like when guys do it in front of me. It makes me disgusted. Don't do it in front of me. I mean, guys used to do that bullshit
all the time
when we were eating at restaurants. Right next, I made me want to punch him. I do not do that. I do not do that in front of other people. Even you. Do you notice ever? Have I ever done that?
Oh God!
Hell no. You've heard it a couple times. I don't know how Andy farts. He probably farts once in a year. He doesn't eat anything. Although that chili, beans of all, how many beans are in that chili? My God.
In my chili?
It's going to be veggies and beans. That thing will beat your stomach.
I'm going to bring you some, but the key is you got to have a lot of extra chili powder in there, Cam.
Yeah, I know. That, no doubt, dude.
Because if it doesn't have that chili flavor, dude.
Kate's making a crock pot today.
Of what?
A big pork roast, and then she's putting veggies in that mug, put a whole beer in there.
Pork roast?
Just like a big roast. A big roast.
It's called a pot roast.
Yeah, but it's pork.
Is it pork?
Yeah. And then she'll dump some beer in there, veggies, all that stuff, potatoes. And then when I get home tonight, and you walk in the house, it just smells. And it's colder out now. Halloween decorations are all up. The leaves are changing out by me. It's so beautiful, and it's gonna smell so dang good.
It's cold.
Dang good.
Or is beer typically in that recipe?
Yeah, I mean, I like to throw beer. All that.
I mean, this guy, he puts beer in his recipes too.
I like it soupy. I like the taste of soup. So I'll cut up that pork when it starts to mesh.
But use some stock.
No,
because I'll teach you how to cook.
Stock. You don't have to.
There's so much stock, chicken stock, veggie stock.
You could put water and then a beer in there. You don't need stock. You could put water, and all that flavor will make that water stock. That's like if I cook my own chicken noodle soup, which I'm going to do here coming up.
Take the stock.
I'll boil all these veggies and a whole chicken, and then just boil it and let that simmer, and then that creates the stock. So you don't have to put chicken stock in there. You create your own.
Oh.
Write it down. God
okay.
Dang.
Okay.
Man, oh man. So anyway, it was a good weekend. I did hung out with Brett Hall, Jeremy Roenick, Kelly Chase, Tony Twist, and Pierre Turgeon.
I didn't know Roenick was in town.
Roenick was in.
Oh, I had no idea.
How can you not?
I had no idea Roenick was in town.
That was pretty cool for Roenick to go hang out with Peelsy's kid and stuff like that. Like he flew in town to do this autograph signing that we did. And he made his time to go everywhere else. He's so cool.
To the hockey practice.
To the hockey practice, stuff like that. I like JR, man.
No, any guys that do that.
Holy's so fucking funny, dude. I'm sorry. He is so funny, dude. I think he listens to the pod. I think he does. He won't admit it, but I think he does.
What do you mean?
Because he brought up a couple things, and I'm like
what?
Something about the Marcia Salt stuff, and maybe not. Maybe he saw a clip, but it was something on the intro that we talked about too. But he's just so funny, dude.
Yeah.
He's just so loose and doesn't give a shit.
No.
And
did he know who you were this time?
When did he not know?
Remember the last time you told me that you wouldn't? You were like waving at him, and he was like,
No. Not Hawley. Never Hawley.
You got mad at Hawley last time he was here for something.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah. You remember what? I'm not making it up.
He chirped my social media.
That's what it was.
Not that he didn't recognize me. I've known him since I was a kid.
That's what it was.
Yeah, he chirped my social media because he said that I was posting too much about something right before we golf tournament. It rattled me all goddamn day. But he was just joking. Sometimes I'm like, damn.
The absolute best.
Fucking Twister's hilarious.
You'll never have a bad time hanging out with Hawley, honestly, ever.
Never. He was craving some Cowdigo, and it was, like where's the drinks?
So you guys were all just signing? Like,
yeah.
What does it cost for his signature versus like
I asked the guy, like, he's not. There's some players that are really, really stingy about that. Hawley's not. I was going through his thing. I was just signing up, whatever. But he had old school stuff that I remember collecting as a kid.
Like people bring
in, and they have it all stacked up. Like, remember he had this, God, in St. Louis, he was so gigantic in the early 90s. That's how we all got into hockey. I've said that a million times. But I remember going to McDonald's, and they'd have that little
comic books.
The comic book from 2009.
I got them all, dude.
And he's signing those, and I'm just looking back at all these cards and stuff like that. I'm like, I had fucking every one of those, the Hall of Notes poster in my room, and it made me smile hanging out with all those guys.
I actually have an amazing Brett Hall collection from when I was a kid. I've got pictures of him and Eric Lindros and stuff like that.
Oh, God, yeah.
I've got a bunch of different things that I just have never. The problem is, it's like Gretzky comes down to games, Hawley comes down, but you never know when they're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? So you never I'm always like, God, man, I wish I would have brought that bottle of Wayne Gretzky wine to have him sign or something like that. You know what I mean?
That's when you get annoying, though.
But you know what Wayne Gretzky?
He doesn't care.
You know what Wayne said last time I saw him at a Blues game last year, and I think it may have been the game when Bedard had the Michigan, and we interviewed him during the game and all that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep, that was a good interview.
As I'm leaving the studio, he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, I'll be back Thursday. Bring that wine bottle."
See,
I was like, damn.
That's why he doesn't just do it to Andy. He does it with everybody.
So
he's an unbelievable.
I brought the wine bottle Thursday.
He went there.
He didn't come back to the game.
That's funny, dude.
But that's okay. Two
I-
people I'll never chirp, Holly and Gretzky.
Nah, I'm not chirping them.
I think you have Gretzky maybe once or twice.
Because of style?
He said he didn't have style.
Okay.
You can't do that.
I didn't mean to. The Joe Fett helmet, I didn't do anything for me. I said Lemieux with the Joe Fett helmet too was kind of just, I didn't like it. And the tacks, although there's new tacks out now that Austin Matthews is wearing. You guys see those new skates? They're kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the tack style. This is my opinion. I
love
love them.
I'm not a big CCM skates guy.
Is that CCM?
Tax, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Yep. I remember having those as a kid and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I did talk to Pierre Turgeon, who's cool as hell, by the way.
One of the nicest people of all time.
So nice, man. Love him. But he was he's got a place in Florida.
Did you go there after the chili cook-off?
No, before.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't do it. I went.
My God.
I told you.
You would have embarrassed the brand from that.
We're in Eureka. I'm saying hey to everybody, and my stomach is so beat up, and I'm hugging people, and I'm talking to people I haven't seen in years, and I'm like, I'm like, and Kate's like, I'm hanging, and she's like trying to talk to everybody. I go, girl, now, I can't go into the porta potties.
Yeah.
I ain't going into poor Sarah's and in front of
make
all the
Bloody
women,
Marys
in front of all the beautiful
and the
women.
Cakes.
Yes, and I'm in there laying a deuce in front of all these.
Oh my God!
I can't do it. I can't do it,
dude.
We got to go. So I kind of felt bad for Kate a little bit.
It's all good. It's for the best.
Anyway, Pierre Turgeon though, he has a place down in Florida. And I was asking him about it. He's like, God dang.
And Vail.
There it is, Pierre. What's up, dude? You know, go ski and go surf, or go ski and go on the water with your boat.
Yeah.
But he was talking about his place didn't get rocked that much, but because he has a high rise, he's like, that's what you do, man. You have a house down there, dude. It'll get rocked, but
so
those
high rises, you're in a good spot.
You're in a good spot. Listen, it's going to take some damage. Now the lobby will flood, and you'll be stuck in there. But your property value,
your belongings,
you're
are
fine.
safe.
Like you could ride that out. But if you have a house, man, you're gonna get fucking rocked.
Unless if it's a fire, which happened to me in the hotel a few weeks ago. Remember when the fire alarm went off?
Doesn't mean there was a fire though. That happened to everybody. Everybody that's ever been in a hotel has seen a fire alarm go off, and nothing happened.
So Ty had practice yesterday at 6:30 in the morning on Sunday. The person working to open the rink doesn't show up till like 6:45. So we're all there at like before 6 o'clock for a 6:30 practice. Kids are getting dressed outside. And the rink manager sent me an email today just being like, hey, like,
it happens.
I felt bad. I put it on Instagram. I didn't call anybody out, but I guess it had the Brentwood Ice Rink sign on it.
Poor guy, because everybody knows it.
So the manager sends me an email today saying, hey, not sure what happened, apologized. They refunded our money.
Yeah. Oh, they did. See, that's fine.
I know.
Sometimes, Andy, you've been late.
They refunded. Hey, listen. So they didn't charge us for the ice.
That's all good. Then.
But we got on late, and they didn't let us stay on late, which kind of bothered me.
Well, they probably had somebody else come on.
Ice rinks can't get off schedule. Once they do, man, it just messes up the entire day.
They gave that to you for free. So and he apologized. That's all I need.
Oh,
that's all I need.
Well, the guy who apologized, it's not his fault. His worker did not show up.
Yeah, because it's probably like Seth or something.
So I got more messages from people being like, they were blaming Seth for not showing up. That's Seth. And then one person asked why you didn't show up and bring everybody McDonald's for breakfast.
What's that mean?
They said Cam should have showed up and gave everyone breakfast.
I know.
Because everyone was sitting outside the rink. Kids are getting dressed outside. But it's
usually
amazing.
When Andy asks me to do something, I do it.
That is very relatable to a lot of people. A lot of interest for a lot of people.
It's probably a young kid that probably had a date and he slept in, dude. And it is what it is. Give it to you for free. Apologize. All good. Oh, God.
What is wrong with you?
I don't even like to burp in front of people. I'm sorry about that.
Don't do that either.
I'm sorry.
Do you watch a lot of hockey this
I did.
weekend?
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
Listen, there's nothing like getting off to a good start and what that can do for the rest of the season.
Like the Oilers?
Oh, my God. The Oilers, who can't score. The Oilers have like $80 million tied up in their offense. And they've got 3 goals in 3 games.
Now, that could all change. And people were like, look what happened last year. They went on like a 16-game.
They fired their coach last year.
They fired the coach like shit was going down. They figured it out. But this year, they're worn out, dude.
Hey, listen, I may be wrong, Cam, when it's all said and done. But I said at the time, like, when they brought in like Jeff Skinner, who had never played a playoff game, I get it. Okay, but these guys aren't like compete guys and battlers.
He scored 30 goals how many times? Like, I don't know.
I get it. I'm just saying, you bring him in, Arvidsson, who's been hurt. I like Adam Henrique. He's a good two-way player, good playoff player.
That's my boy.
And I like Arvidsson too. And Jeff Skinner, listen, I've always liked Skinner. Man, he's got natural ability, but again, there's a reason why he's never been on a playoff team either, right? I mean, his skill set is not gonna, pull the rest of the group with him and get them over the edge. Not that it's all on him or he's the only reason why they've never made the playoffs. I'm just saying, you do that at the expense of losing 2 young players, right? And I just don't think they've really managed their cap that well. Now, they went to the Cup final last year. They still have Draisaitl and McDavid. They still have 79 games to go. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they're not making the playoffs and whatever.
No.
They should be able to turn things around. But when you lose 6-0 in the season opener, okay, 6-0, not 3-0, not 2-0, not 5-4. Because Colorado's a whole different story. They've got no goaltending whatsoever. They've got the worst.
Nathan McKinnon
They've got
losing his
the
mind.
worst goaltending maybe that I've ever seen.
Georgiev?
This is the worst NHL goaltending I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so they've given up 14 goals in 2 games. Against, right? So they're losing differently than Edmonton, even though Edmonton still lost 6-0, and then they lose at home to Chicago. I mean, they're just losing terrible games. Colorado's losing at home to Columbus, who's now become one of my favorite teams, by the way. I like watching Columbus. I'm pulling for Columbus. They're, like, fun to watch. I like this Kent Johnson and some of these other guys that they have wheeling around.
Rooting for him.
I mean, Fantilli, man, they've got some Chinakov.
China?
This guy, like Chinakov, whatever. I just like some of the young guys that they have, I mean, so Columbus is kind of fun to watch. But Colorado, no goaltending. Edmonton, that's tough to get off to that type of start. Winnipeg is like winning in late season fashion.
You know who I like on that
Multiple
team?
games
that no
in
one
a
really
row?
talks about? That's freaking good.
Kyle Connor.
God, is he good.
Well, he wears 81 like my
Dude,
kid does.
dude, every time he plays the Blues, like he's got the puck the whole time, going 100 miles an hour, doing all kinds of different things. Now, and maybe they talk about him a ton up there, but I just
he doesn't get enough.
Dude, he's
damn
good.
Let me tell you about his numbers because Kyle Connor,
he's damn good.
He led the USHL in goal scoring his last year in the USHL.
Yeah.
As a true freshman, he leads the NCAA while at Michigan in goal scoring. His first year as a true freshman in college hockey.
Yeah.
He scored everywhere he's ever gone, Cam.
He's
all
got
this
red
guy
hair,
ever
too.
does is score. Blonde. Is it red?
It's got a red tint to it.
I don't see I don't see that. Like Owen Tippett has red hair.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I mean?
does.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a little bit red.
Yeah, Andy. I'm
Yeah.
not colorblind, baby.
Okay, so
all good, no big
he had
deal.
34 goals last year, which he's capable of scoring way more than that. And that's a down year for me for Kyle Connor.
It's pretty damn good.
Although in just 65 games, so I shouldn't say that
There it is.
because he got hurt.
Yep.
Remember he got
is.
hurt. The year before, 31 and 82. So again, he's capable of doing way more than 30. 31's a down year for Kyle Connor based on his scoring ability. He had 47 the year before that. I think he should always be in that 45 to 50 range, man.
Way he
with his-
moves.
with his shooting ability.
See a shot last night.
Oh,
Jesus.
so he's got 2 goals in the first 3 games. He's had
Jesus.
seasons of 31, 34, 38, 26, and 56 a few years back.
No, he's a good player, man. I like watching him play. I
But
do.
in Youngstown, his final year in the USHL, he scored 34 goals in 56 games.
No, he's a goal scorer.
He had 31 the year before. Guys aren't scoring back-to-back seasons with
He's a
30-plus goals in the USHL. 35 goals in 38 games at Michigan
Oh, Lord.
as a true freshman.
Pretty dang good.
And he
So-
was a first-round pick. Went 17th overall. It's a hell of a draft pick.
Yeah, I liked him. I just, Winnipeg just needs to find their way,
Mhm.
They're just always kind of there, and then they just fall or whatever the case is. I'm rooting for that Kyle Connor. Like watching him
Yeah.
play. If you entertain me, that's all I need.
Yeah.
You
But-
entertain me.
But Shifley scoring the late game goals.
Yeah.
Late third period goals. They pulled the goaltender with 2 seconds left. We don't see goals scored too often. We see teams pull the goaltender with 2 seconds left. Down a goal all the time, right? You're pulling the goalie anyway, right? You get that 6th attacker.
Yeah.
But sometimes you see teams, even if it's a tie game, 2 seconds left in a period, they'll
Why
pull the
wouldn't
goalie.
you do that?
I would do it.
I would risk
Risk it. Yeah.
getting a clean draw
It
and ripping
doesn't
it.
typically work. But I've watched this play 45 times, Cam. I can't stop watching it because there's so many things that have to work in order
Yeah.
for a team to execute this type of play. First off, you got to win it clean, like you said. But then the inside forward, and I wish I could go back and see exactly who that was. He set the most perfect pick, Cam, to prevent the Minnesota Wild forward from getting out to the shooter and blocking the shot.
Little things, man.
So it's like that goal doesn't happen without that guy. So all the coaches out there, you want to show the highlight, show the players that are impacting the play, who didn't take the face off, who didn't take the shot.
Little things. You know who told me about, who would just honestly dig this into our soul every single day on face-offs when I was playing for the Devils? Adam Oates.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. When Oates tells you to do something, like, there's reasons for it. He's a very smart hockey man. He would always pick. You have to pick. Throw a pick here. And there's different ways to pick, too, because you can hold the guy up, and they're going to call you a penalty.
Yeah.
So there's ways to do it to get in their way, and that helps out so much. Can I give a shout-out?
Yeah.
Who do you think I'm going to give it to?
Clayton Keller.
Yeah, God dang right. You're in your game today.
Clayton Keller, baby. I love
you
that.
are in your game.
I love that Utah
God,
too, man.
God damn, was he
and
good.
And that Dylan Gunther also, man.
Do you see that? Like no, what are the Rangers doing? You get the puck behind the net. He's like, what? Like, okay, I'm going to walk this boom, backhand top shelf. He's playing like a captain. He's playing like, fuck, I'm playing in front of fans, finally.
I know.
I have a rink, finally. Everything's set in motion. We have a cool owner that's spending money.
I'm in the NHL.
I'm in the NHL. I'm in the NHL again. I'm not back in college. He's like, fuck the world. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for them,
got
too.
The C on his jersey.
Damn
the
right.
New colors.
St. Louis boy.
They're still a young team, but like they just have a different type of swagger to them now because they just and I feel like teams think they're still Arizona, but they're not Arizona because they don't play in Arizona. You know what I mean?
God.
They're Utah, baby. They got all the energy surrounding them.
Yeah, they're not depressed.
They've got their owner who looks like he's out of a '90s boy band, like the Backstreet.
No wonder he's not coming on the pod.
Like the Backstreet Boys or something.
He's a handsome 40. He's a handsome 46-year-old dude.
The hat backwards.
I like him.
I feel like I think he may have grabbed himself at one point during a.
We've all done that.
Like he's on stage, like dancing or whatever. Brings his wife out everywhere. I like that too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he's cool, man. A young guy with a lot of money that's willing to spend it.
He's just cool, but he's got a little like New Kids on the Block to him, doesn't he? He's got the hat backwards, Cam. He's
New
younger.
Kids on the Block. See, I never got into them. I know you probably did.
Backstreet Boys.
They wear backwards hats. I would say they have blonde hair with earrings.
Okay.
So when you chirp, like,
you're
not really good at chirping.
He's got some Timberlake to him.
I say he just looks like a young billionaire.
Yeah.
He just looks like a young, cool, hip billionaire that probably has fun in his ski in and ski out mansion. And he's going to have all the boys there. They're probably going to party and drink the best wine. He's going to take them around town and do their thing and get them free cars. Like, that's how I look at him, not as a boy band.
Yeah, well, he kind of looks like he's out of a boy band a little bit. And it's not a chirp, dude.
Totally a chirp.
No, it's not.
It's totally a chirp.
I like him. And I like the Utah Hockey Club.
Yeah. I don't like the name.
Just keep it.
Oh, dude, we already talked about
the
this,
Utah
man.
Hockey Club.
Utah Hockey Club, that's stupid. And I get why they did it this year.
You like the Utah lava?
Would that make sense in Utah?
I don't know.
Maybe a lot of those formations were from old volcanoes from way back in the day.
Can I give a shout out to a family? A CEO making millions of dollars. Beautiful family, Cam. He fell at Zion National Park and died within the last couple of days.
Off a cliff?
Yeah.
Do you know him?
Not directly, no.
Okay.
And not indirectly either.
Was he climbing one of those hardcore trails that you have to jump over ledges and stuff?
With a couple other guys. I don't know if he was rock climbing. I don't know what was going on.
Well, fuck. Okay. I mean, you're going to risk your life. Like, that stuff does happen. You know what I mean? And the way you set it up was like you're buddies with this guy.
Okay, well, I
mean, like, there's people dying. A girl got kidnapped the other day, and something happened. A bystander just got hit by a car in St. Louis. But
he went to BYU.
Okay,
Brigham Young.
Yeah. Did you go there?
No, I did
Dude,
not.
what are we doing here?
I'm just saying. I've been to Zion National Park though a couple of times.
Okay, that's the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hardcore. I love Zion.
And he
National
is
Park.
He's like a major CEO of like a major company.
You're gonna roll the dice rock climbing. I don't know if that was the case, but if he was just did somebody push him off? Like, is there more to the story?
I don't know. No, I don't. Well, we don't know that. I don't know if there's an investigation going on. Now you're throwing that out there. I was not thinking that.
That happens.
I was not thinking that somebody pushed him off.
Well,
the cliff.
if you you're gonna bring up a story, I thought there maybe be a little bit more to it. Some people that happens, man. That happens once in a while.
Backstreet Boys. All right.
That's a chirp. Dude.
No, it
is a chirp.
Dude, the hat's backwards. He's got the jersey on.
He's up in Gaza with all the guys too.
He's got his girl. He's just cool, man. I like him.
I agree. But the Backstreet Boys aren't cool. So when you say that, and I'm like, it just makes them look kind of nerdy.
What was the group that Justin Timberlake was with?
NSYNC.
He looks like he's from
That's
NSYNC.
again
That's
a beak, dude. You're chirping these guys. NSYNC's kind of nerdy right now.
Oh my God.
Like, they're totally like.
It's not. There's a lot of fans out there who like them.
Walk outside and walk up to a man, but hey, you look like you're in a boy band. See how they look at you.
Oh my God, is that
Seriously.
bad?
Well, yeah.
That is not
Maddie,
a
you look
chirp.
like you're in a boy band. He's gonna tell me to go fuck myself. Good God. Get on with yourself.
He just does.
No, he looks cool, dude.
Can I show you a picture?
No, I know what he looks like. He had his hat on backwards the other day. He had them Jordans in the background. Hey, he had that sneaker collection, which is like,
He's just
dude, you
cool,
collect
man.
sneakers, man. You can get a ton of money for those bad boys.
Do you know a lot of kids? Like my little nephew, he was making like, I don't know what he was making, but he was like buying and selling shoes online forever.
Dude, I'm telling you. Well, I know a couple cats that do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's money involved.
So I took Ty to buy new shoes over the weekend.
Yeah, Andy.
And-
Jesus Christ.
It's like all,
And you went to the grocery
all
store?
these basketball players have shoes.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just didn't want it. I didn't want him to get these specific shoes because of who the player was. I don't dislike the player, but I was
Who
like,
was it?
It was LaMelo Ball. Oh, I think
LaMelo.
I think he's the best of all the Ball brothers. But like, I couldn't stand LeVar
Dad's
Ball back in
annoying.
the day.
Annoying.
I was like, we just can't support.
Remember he came on the scene so like loud.
So loud.
God, shut up.
Everyone loved having him on, and then everyone got sick of him.
Yeah.
He told that girl to stay in her lane.
Yeah, the hot. From Colin Coward. Used to
Stay
have-
in your lane.
Remember that girl from Colin Coward show?
Yeah.
The blonde?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
What happened to her?
She got another gig, and I don't think it went out.
Oh.
Because listen, when you're that good looking and you're smart and you can keep
What
up
do you
with
mean it
Colin,
didn't get out?
I think she got another gig where it just didn't work. And now he's got some dude on there or something. I don't know. But she was beautiful.
Do you know years ago I went and interviewed for a job at an ESPN radio station in Portland, Oregon. I did an audition and everything. And I was covering hockey like on a daily basis back then. They don't have an NHL team, but they were like trying hard to get an NHL team in Portland. So I would do these. I did like all day long, Cam. Did like one audition after another with like a show that was on, and they would bring me on, and all they would ask me about was Mark McGuire. I was like, it's not really my area of.
It's easy to talk about.
It's so easy, but I was
Come
like,
on.
okay, all right, let's get something else going here. Besides, it
Well,
was just
yeah.
the Cardinals and Mark McGuire.
What if they
Mark
asked you
McGuire.
about like the animal kingdom or something at
Yeah.
the time?
Well, we could have gotten.
You would have
into
been
that.
like, fuck, the elephants around
we,
here.
We could have gotten into that.
The elephants in my
Hey,
backyard are tearing
but-
up my garden.
But my point is, Colin Cowherd, he was the big name at that station,
Yeah.
and so I think they knew he would be leaving, and like
I like him.
And ESPN Radio ended up hiring him, or
Yeah.
ESPN did.
Fox, I thought.
Then he went to
Okay.
Fox.
Okay.
But he went to
He's making-
ESPN
he's making a
first.
lot of money.
People like love him or hate him. It's kind of like
He's cool. He entertains me.
No,
It's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't get
Do
political
you like
too much. He
Skip
don't do anything.
Bayless?
No, he's annoying.
Okay.
I like Stephen A. Smith though.
Yeah,
I don't mind
Stephen
him.
A's my guy.
He's cool. Like he walks into some of these games, like he's underneath the tunnel, walking in like he's
Like
a player.
he's the player. Like he's
Yeah.
coming into play.
Yeah.
I've been sending him some messages. I'm waiting for him to get
I'm
back
sure
to
he'll
me.
get back
Come on, Stephen A. But he's got like millions and millions of followers. I don't think he's trying to go away from sports a little bit. He's doing a lot of political talk and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which is okay.
Yeah.
It's not a strength
I
as an
don't- I don't mi-
interviewer with some of that stuff.
People
He's
hate him.
not as entertaining and not as strong of a broadcaster when he's getting away from sports. But I like the fact that he's given that a go too.
Yeah, he's just speaking his mind. Do I agree with everything he
Mhm.
says? Fuck no. But I don't mind him. Like Skip Bayless was too much of a fraud for me.
Mhm.
Like he's too fake. Like I think Stephen A. Smith is pretty real whenever he
Yeah.
kind of goes crazy.
And he takes care of people
Skip
around him and
Bayless
stuff
is just
like that.
kind of nerdy in my opinion.
You like
That's all good.
You like Shay Shay?
Yeah, Shannon Sharp's pretty funny. Dude, Shay, Dion,
Mm-hmm.
and Ocho Cinco.
Dude, they're hilarious.
They're fucking fun.
They have a great podcast, dude.
I know, I listen.
And I
listen to
they're
it.
funny, man. Their clips are hilarious.
They're pretty good.
They are.
They're
dude.
making fun of
Ocho
Shay for that chick.
Ocho Cinco is fucking.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious.
I like those guys. They entertain me.
Me too.
It's all I want.
And they're not. And see, here's the thing.
not
You have
pussies.
two NFL. Shannon Sharp's a Hall of Famer. Chad Johnson's not,
Well, he could be probably, right?
but he was a All-Pro wide receiver for a long time. Had a great career.
yeah.
Changed his name to Ocho Cinco.
Ocho Cinco. So dumb.
But he but they don't just talk sports. They talk about everything.
I know. I like it. I told you, there's certain podcasts I don't like. There's some podcasts I do. Now, am I going to listen to the whole thing? No. But when Shay had on like Cat Williams and all that
Yeah,
stuff,
no,
it was
he's
totally
funny.
cool. Totally cool. He's asking questions
Shay Shay.
and he's vulnerable. I like people when they're vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel
you think he planted that sex scene?
Maybe. That's a good question. Maybe. Because that does...
Like, how do you accidentally go on Instagram Live? Like, I don't even know where that is. Like, how is there? Because I'm worried about that now. Is there like a button you can just press?
You're damn right there is.
Where is it?
Don't know. But I'll tell you this: when you get fucked up, you do stupid things, man. And I've seen cats do Instagram Live and show some. At the time, you're like, "This is I'm partying," and then you post it, and the next day you're like, "Oh God, what? Oh God!" And then you get fucked. So maybe he was partying pretty hard, or maybe he just messed up and he just pressed it on accident. But you just got to laugh at yourself. You got to laugh at yourself. I like people that are vulnerable. Yeah. I don't like people that think
it didn't hurt him. It actually probably
it's embarrassing.
Helped him a little bit.
But I just like people that have a vulnerability to them. I do. Because I do.
Yes.
Big time.
What do you?
And I appreciate it.
What are you vulnerable about?
Shit, name it. Name it.
Would you pay Igor Shesterkin?
Look at 12.
What would you pay him?
11.5.
Can I give a? My thing is like, dude, take it or leave it. 11 million. If I was running the Rangers, I'd say this is the offer. Take it or leave it. Well, you need an extra $300,000.
Help us out a little bit.
All this idea that like the goalie. Listen, I don't think the goalie can ever be the best player on the team. You can't have the best player on the team play like 70% of the games. Okay, so you can say that he is, but they've got a lot of really good players too on that team. I know Panarin's making 11.6 and whatnot, but dude, you want to pay your goalie $11 million, man? You better, and you want to give him the term to go with it. I just think, fine, and he doesn't want to take that. Well, what if he takes a puck off the head the next game all of a sudden, and he gets hurt long term, whatever? Take the damn money. They're offering you $11 million on an 8-year deal, and what do you want? You want more than Panarin? You want to get to 11.6, 11.7?
Yeah. You're
waiting on that. If I'm the Rangers, I'd be like, whatever. You know what I can do? I can go get a $5 million goalie and a $6 million player, and we're probably better. You know what I'm saying? No. I'm just saying I can get a $5 million. There's a lot of good goalies. He's probably the best goalie in the world. I get it. But everyone's like, just pay the guy. Like, they just offered him $11 million.
Yeah.
People talk about Bobrovsky and whatever. Yeah, it was a bad deal. And then guess what? All the other contracts on the team and the roster caught up with the contract. You got all these other players they brought in. And they paid, obviously, Barkov. And they paid Matthew Tkachuk. And they got Reinhart, who they just paid. And they brought in Sam Bennett. And they had all these other pieces. You know what I mean? Forsling. The most underrated player in the league, maybe. So they brought in all the... So guess what? The roster caught up with the contract. They didn't win because they had a $10 million goaltender. He was pretty damn good.
God, was he pretty damn good.
But the roster was really good to go along with his ability. So if you can't bring in those pieces around the goalie because he's making $12 million because I got to have $12 million.
I need to be ahead of my Russian comrade.
All I'm saying is, man, it's just like...
I can't argue with you, dude.
I don't... And I'm not going to say he's not the best, but I just have a hard time saying the goalie is ever the best player when they don't play every game. And you know what? He can still let in 5 goals like he did the other night and get beat by Clayton Keller in overtime.
Bad defense.
You know what I'm saying?
That,
or 6 goals. You know what I'm saying?
So, yeah. Well, so what team won the Stanley Cup and their goalie was their best player over the years?
I mean,
like throughout the playoffs, their goalie was.
The Blues won the Stanley Cup with, a guy who just wasn't even on the team in January of that year.
Pretty dang good.
Yeah, he was.
I mean,
and what was he making?
In fact, he was unbelievable.
And what was he making?
Not much.
Okay.
$700.
And he's still damn good, and he's making like $6 million, right?
We got a pretty good deal.
Okay. And Vegas, they won with what? Like 5 different goalies?
Yeah, a couple guys.
Okay.
I
mean,
I'm just asking.
Colorado won with Darcy Kemper.
Yeah.
Vasilevsky, he's probably the best goalie in the league too. I mean, he's right there. Certainly,
was he their best player?
But he's making what, like 9 or whatever, 9.5.
Yeah. You had Hedman back. I mean, you had loaded superstars.
I don't want 11. I want 11.4.
See, that's selfish to me. Just take the damn money.
What, dude? They just offered you $88 million.
He's probably playing the game
as a goalie.
Yeah,
I would.
He's probably playing a game like they did in Boston too. I don't know. Yeah, I'd sign it too, man. It's hard to disagree with you on that. I'm trying, but I can't. Just take the fucking money and let's go. You guys got shit kicked the other day. You need to win. Take the money and be unbelievable and try to win a Stanley Cup for that organization.
I know some agents that told Chris McFarland, the general manager of Colorado. I bet you if you took a poll, not many people would know who the general manager of the Colorado Avalanche is.
I would say not many people at all.
They were like, Joe Sakic. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
But I know some agents who were like, hey, your goaltending is not good enough. Like people who are trying to get their goalie signed in different places.
Yeah.
Your goaltending's not good enough. I'm telling you right now. And he didn't believe him, I guess.
I think they're going to be okay. But
you do?
If he keeps getting lit up like a Christmas tree, and Nathan McKinnon's breaking his stick and throwing it at the ref.
Did he do that? Did he do that?
I love Nathan McKinnon.
Oh, my God.
Sorry,
so do
dude.
I.
I like guys with passion and fire flying out of their ass. I love it.
Would you take him over Draisaitl?
Yep.
Would you take him?
I like Draisaitl too, man.
Okay.
He plays with
fine.
He goes, dude. I'm not chirping that. But Nathan McKinnon's just on. That's
Would
my
you
boy.
take him over Matthews?
Yeah. Yes, I would. I'll say it right now. I would. I love Austin Matthews too. Like I do. But I think Nathan McKinnon just has an extra edge to him, just a different edge, and not to mention he's a winner. Like he'll really, really take over games. He'll hit you. He'll play physical. He keeps everybody accountable. He's not just sitting on the bench like this. Like
I'm sure he's not the easiest to handle.
I don't give a damn.
And I hear Landeskog, by the way, and this may be out there, but he's got that bone-on-bone knee injury, right?
Oh, he's so cool too.
And they did this surgery with that artificial cartilage.
Yeah.
And he'd be like the first NHL player to ever come back from that injury.
I know. It's happened before through the years.
I just don't know if it's realistic.
If he's at 80%.
He's got the same thing that Ben Bishop had.
Yeah, Ben Bishop came on here the other day and said that he cannot get that fixed.
No.
And I'm like, how?
So I know Landeskog has been skating. He's been working out. Word is from those who have seen him skate and who have seen him working out, he's just not at the level that you would expect from him.
That's a shame, man.
So I hate to see guys who get so affected by injury. But he brought them a Stanley Cup. He had a great career.
Who else got banged up?
And hopefully he's able to come back and play. But I just don't know if he's ever going to be able to get back to that level.
Who else got banged up on the Avalanche? The defenseman, blanking on his name. I think somebody got hurt. Anyway, and then they're missing Nichushkin too.
Oh yeah,
whatever.
Nichushkin is eligible to be reinstated. On November 13th.
I mean, he's
so
a roll of the dice, but he's
eligible to be reinstated on November 13th. Yeah. So then it's up to the league if they want to reinstate him then, which I would imagine they would, but you never know. And so they get him back. Obviously, that would help. But listen, if you don't have goaltending, you've got no chance.
None.
Although Vegas looks damn good, man. I watched them play against Colorado, and then obviously watching them play against St. Louis. And St. Louis, hung in there against him. They look good. But they are so damn good. And to me, Vegas might be, and I know they're 3-0, and I'm not just saying this, they might be the most impressive team that I've seen so far.
Utah looked pretty damn good. I don't know.
Yeah, but Utah's not Vegas.
Well, on paper,
Vegas,
I get that.
They're healthy. They got all these guys playing.
Optically, Utah looked pretty good. But Vegas, dude, they're loaded. And not to mention that first line, Barbashev.
Oh, my God.
Barbashev.
Eichel.
Jeez Louise.
Stone.
I mean, they're everywhere. They had the puck the whole time.
Hey, go look at Colorado's line combinations beyond the first line. Just go look at it.
Yeah. No, it's
not much.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of drama going on. And even I was watching some Bedard too. He does got to keep his head up a little bit.
That hip check.
He took that hip check. It didn't look good. He popped back up. He had a cool play where it looked like Alexander Ovechkin back in like 2008 when Ovi was playing against the Coyotes, and he had that unbelievable goal.
Might have been 2006.
Might have been 2006 where he dipsy doodles, falls back, and makes that little unbelievable back.
It was a hell of a pass.
That was a hell of a pass. If that would have been a goal, that would have been highlight reel out the wazoo.
It would have been one of the greatest assists I've ever seen in my entire life.
Keep your head up. Just keep your head up. I know.
You don't think it's up?
No, it is. He's so fun to watch.
He just plays so fast and he's so aggressive with his skill.
He goes into the traffic, man. Like, he's not afraid, and I love that. But kind of dipsy do a little bit too much. And I don't know who it was. Like, it just got that hip out there, man. I'm like, oh, anytime you get hip check like that, you fall weird, you fall into the boards. Just I don't know. What do you say to the kid?
You get a Charlie horse in the
What do you say to the kid? Slow down? No. Maybe ease up on the one-on-one toe drag stuff. Although it works sometimes.
when he came across the blue line and just sniped, you use your shot, man.
And I got tipped a little bit, but he comes in, he leans on that stick, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Rip it. They want to back into the goal.
Yeah.
Rip it.
I know Toronto's fun to watch too, man. I like watching Toronto just because you got Chief there. I'm pulling for Toronto.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if their goaltending's good enough either. I know people talk about Stolarz and whatever. Listen, I can always see Chief's reaction after a goal tells you everything you need to know. And
Andy,
some
you're so
may
right,
not
dude.
know how to read him
Yep.
yet, but I know exactly what he's thinking, dude. I
Yep.
swear, when I see certain goals that are given up, and I know like the Chris Letang scored a power play goal for Pittsburgh, and it was a clap bomb. It was a hell of a shot.
The guy.
And Chief was he had that look like, okay, first off, it probably should have been blocked, or at least put your body in front of it, but also. He's like, the goaltender should have made that save too. Yeah,
I don't know about that, man. Did you see that on? Did you see that in
went
slow
past
motion?
his ear,
Did you see it in slow motion?
Maybe he was screened a little
He
bit.
was.
Yeah.
Dude, Chris Letang set that up perfectly.
Yeah.
Because the forward was a young kid too. I forgot his name, but he looped around and took just a bad route. And Letang kind of set him up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Then he walked in towards a little bit of a screen and ripped that bomb where he had just inches. So I don't really blame that.
It
on
was
the goalie.
from the outside. I'm not blaming the goalie.
It was that left winger. Took a bad route and opened up the ice for him.
He did. Yeah, he did. And then the defenseman didn't really step out and try to block it either.
Getting away on that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a great play by Chris Letang, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He just set him up, set that rookie up, dude.
Yeah.
He did. I don't blame him on the goalie.
I'm not fully blaming the goaltender, but typically a slap shot from that distance, like you just
he ripped it, dude.
the goaltender's huge. Just
50 people
stand up and let it hit you.
Yeah, but
it was
stand up like this.
It was a hell of a shot.
No, he's like, I can't.
Hell of a shot. That's fine.
I know what you mean.
I'm not gonna go again. But but Chief, he just was like, oh my god, you know what I mean? And it's early. He's trying to learn his team.
Talking to the mic.
He's trying to learn his team, see exactly what he has, who he has, who's gonna be there for him, who's not.
Nylander looked pretty good though. The steps he doing around, like he's got the puck a lot.
Yeah, same with Marner, man.
They both look pretty dang good.
Does Matthews have a goal yet?
I don't think so.
It's always important for those guys to get off the good starts. Although I was reading a stat or something when he scored 60 a few years back. I don't think he had like one goal through 6 or something like that.
Hey, we gotta break down shit, dude. Like, okay, this is coming out tomorrow. We're breaking down the games. Things are gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
People are gonna start getting hot. People are gonna slow down.
Yeah.
Teams are gonna go this way. Teams are gonna go that way. But as of right now, this is what we're breaking down.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we've seen so far.
Barkov, obviously, with Florida.
Oh, God.
And, you saw him, break his stick. And then, listen, bad things happen when you go back to retrieve pucks with no stick and you got a forechecker around you. And it was Tim Stützle who got up. Sometimes he doesn't always get up, but when it's an empty net, he's getting up.
That's a chirp.
You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
When it's an empty net, he's like, okay, I'm going to get up. I'm going to score this one.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I did see Brady. Some kid. Who are they playing? And some kid behind the net's like trying to go this way, and trying to go that way, and trying to go this way, and trying to go
Montreal.
And Brady's just like, come on, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, kind of chirping him a little bit.
Yeah.
Brady.
Well, Lane Hudson does all those head fakes, man.
All those Brady's just.
He's fun to watch.
Brady told him to go fuck. It's just funny. Brady makes me laugh, dude.
Yeah. He's like, whatever, you're not doing anything.
Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Ooh, you're faking me out.
Hey.
Yeah.
So funny, dude. He gets pissy, but it's not serious. Like he's just looking at it like we would in like an alumni skate.
Right.
Like, hurry up.
Right.
Like
right. Ooh.
So
nice head fake.
So funny. And then those two, he had the little one with Matthew.
Yeah, Ryder.
And then everybody's like, Brady's better.
Yeah.
And Matthew's just like, it's just totally cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're cool guys, man.
Yeah.
I know all you guys are, fuck Matthew, fuck Brady. Listen, if you knew the guys and they were on your team, Jesus Christ.
You think Florida is primed for a letdown? You think they're going to get back to the level that they were last year? What are you thinking?
That's a damn good question. It's hard. How can you?
Mm-hmm.
They haven't rested in 2 years. 2 years. I'm telling you. Shit, I wasn't even playing. And going through that 2 months of hell, basically getting bagged every day, you're traveling all the time. Guys are yellow.
Yeah.
And their sinks are chugging.
And you guys lost.
We lost. And
so you're not partying all summer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
You might be, but I'm just saying,
guys, no, you still party.
But you're not traveling around and doing all this stuff.
But you're still worn out, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You are all of a sudden, September.
Yeah.
Just like that, it's September. Like, I barely got anything in.
Right.
I didn't get to do my this. I was supposed to do some sort of yoga class I didn't get into. I did this, that, like all this other stuff that you have so many months to really take your time and start working out. Florida has got to be so banged up and so tired, and little injuries are going to start occurring a little bit more. I don't know, man. I love that team. They're so fun to watch. We've had a ton of guys on that we've enjoyed on this here podcast. I don't know, Andy. I would say probably they're going to have a bad year because of what they've been through for 2 years. Not because their team's bad, but it would be a shame to be this loaded, because you're always going to be missing guys every year, man. To be this loaded, and they're deep, and you have all the pieces, but you're so fucking banged up and tired because of the last 2 years. I don't know.
The Central Division may be the best division. I think it is the best division in hockey right now, especially when we have Utah doing their thing, and then now Winnipeg winning to go along with Dallas.
I know.
And Colorado.
Dallas ain't playing around.
Even though Colorado just...
Don't count them out.
I'm not counting them out.
I mean, let's be honest
But
here. You got the man.
Let's
there.
get some... It's some of the worst goaltending I've ever seen.
And somehow you got to fix that. But you got other pieces, dude.
Like, that is so demoralizing for a team. When you're giving up those types of goals. You got to score 6-7 goals to win.
It ain't good. It's not a good recipe by any means. See Wes McCauley. People are chirping him.
Well, he loves the attention.
It's true.
I mean,
I know.
Find me another. He may be on Twitter when he's all done. When he retires from officiating, he may.
People
just
are chirping
be
him
on
because
Twitter.
he pointed up to Sam Rosen, who I love.
Yeah, of course, we love Sam.
But what? So what did he keep the puck for Sam or something?
And
like,
then
what did he do?
I guess they gave Sam the ceremonial or the puck, the original, the opening faceoff puck. They gave it to Sam. So
I would say this. I don't care. I like Wes McCauley. He's one of the best refs going, obviously, because he's playing and he's refing the most important games.
Always, yeah.
And if you want to say 5 minutes for fire, fine with me. Doesn't bother me.
Do your thing.
But if you get attention by calling more penalties and affecting the game that way, now we have a problem.
Yeah. If you want the whole game to be about you.
If you want the whole game to be about you, and you are slowing the fucking game down with ticky-tack bullshit because you're in a mood.
Are you seeing that?
No.
Okay.
But if you do that, we have a problem. But if you go to and you're like 2 minutes for tripping.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Whatever.
You want to point up to somebody? I don't give a fuck. You want to be funny on a mic and chirp some of the guys?
Yeah, but
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but the NFL referees are so good on the mic. Like the way they explain things and how they remember everything, like they don't stumble for the most part.
Nah. Oh yeah, it's NFL, man. You shouldn't.
I know. Is that what it is?
Well, yeah. You're in the biggest league in the world. No, you should.
But so, those guys are way more recognizable on the entire sports landscape than an NHL referee. Everyone knows the ref, but at the same time, I just don't see referees in football trying to.
I think hockey referees get more attention. Well, I don't know. Some of these umpires in MLB got ripped. Angel Hernandez, who's such a joke.
He was so bad, though, for so long.
Well, they get a lot of attention for negativity. Listen, NHL refs get negativity, man. Like, how many people bitch about the refs in hockey games? Like it just happens. The game is so fast. There's so many different things going on.
But they're not always calling them out by name in the NHL. They used to, because they always had like
a name on the back of
the jersey. They had
jersey.
names on the back of the jerseys back in the day. Kerry Frazier and all those guys.
Yeah, and like Andy Van Hellemond. That's my boy right there. Yeah. Look up on YouTube. Andy Van Hellemond, mic'd up in the 80s.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh yeah, and
no, he's so cool to all the guys.
No, and that was
so cool.
Also, you're thinking of Bill McCreary.
Bill McCreary. He was
would
tough
chirp
on
guys.
He was tough on me.
I don't even know who you are.
I remember just being so nice to everybody, and like anytime they told me to stop in front of the net, I would. But Bill would. He just never like winked at me. All the refs, everybody else did, man. Hey, camera, blah blah blah, shit. Yeah. Someone like, what are you doing tonight? We're gonna go party at Harry's.
What's his name?
Bill McCreary, though.
No, who was on TNT? We came on the podcast. He was great. We had Kerry Frazier on, too. We've had a couple refs on. Peelsy came on.
Kerry Frazier, and who we missing?
And his son is Jamie. Lives here in Kaharski.
Yeah, big Donnie boy, man. Damn right. So awesome. I like when guys will just, like I'll talk, hey, I got you, Donnie. Yeah. I got you. That's a warning.
I will say, though, like in the NFL, when they go to the official when there's a review, the official puts it on the line and tells you what he thinks the call will be. Here's what they're looking at. In my opinion, this is a reversal. This is not a good catch. They'll say that in football. In hockey, like on ESPN, I'm sure Dave Jackson does it. He's a really good guy and does a pretty good job. But he just kind of like, well, here's what they're looking at, guys, to see if the puck fully crossed the line or not and see if it was If there's goal, okay, well, we know that. That's why they're having the review.
What's your opinion?
What's your opinion?
Yeah.
What do you think the proper call should be? It's like they don't want to say it because they don't want to go against what the officials may do.
There might be such a gray area.
Well, then don't have them on there.
Well, there might, with the goalie interference thing, and people are complaining about it left and right with different.
There's some terrible ones right now.
Well, what is it? So maybe he's like, I don't know what the fucking rule is.
Yeah, but I'm not going by what he's done this year with some of that.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, just in general, give your opinion. What you think it should be. I'm not going to hold it against you if you're wrong because, hey, listen, we don't know what it's going to be either.
No one does.
The coaches don't know. The players don't know. Nobody knows. So just tell us what you think the right call should be.
That's it.
That's why you're on there.
That's
not to tell us what we already know. We know the rule for offsides and what they're looking at.
What's your opinion?
What's your opinion?
What do you see? You have different camera angles that we don't see on TV. What are you seeing? You know the rule book.
Put
left
it
and
on
right.
the line. Tell us what it is.
That's what you get paid to do.
Cam, before we get into Mike Keenan, Iron Mike.
Yeah.
Last time we brought Iron Mike on, by the way, it must have been one of our first 5 episodes ever.
Yeah. I was nervous, too.
Cam was so nervous, I don't think he asked a question on there the whole time.
Now I don't give a shit because we got questions for him.
He didn't know what to ask. He's like, do you like...
what's your favorite color? It's like some of the interviews Kamala's on with some of these cats. Those are the softball questions I was given Iron Mike Keenan.
With Joe Biden?
My God. We don't need to get into it.
Kamala
I don't want to piss people off.
Was on The View.
I don't want to piss people off. Go. Where are we talking?
She was on The View.
I know.
They asked her a question. What would you do differently than Joe Biden?
How was that answer?
She didn't give much of an answer.
No, I know. She doesn't. It's all good.
And then she was asked a question by Gobert. What's his name?
Steven.
Is he a lefty or a righty?
I mean, come on, Andy.
Does he play left wing or right wing?
I mean,
answer the question.
He plays left wing and left D.
Okay.
And left out. That's what Andy played in high school football. Left out.
I was cornerback and safety.
So anyway, tell us about this kid.
I had 3 interceptions my freshman year and a 2-point conversion.
Show me proof. Show me
you
proof.
Want to see the stats?
Yeah, show me proof, and we will post it. I will post it on my Insta story. Show me proof.
I'll get you the stats.
Get them. You gonna dig through your office or something?
I'm gonna get you those damn stats, boy.
Let me see.
Because I got them.
Andy, you were literally 5'3", 100 pounds.
Isn't that amazing? Kamikaze, man.
Oh my God. 5'3", 100 pounds.
Kamikaze.
Like, that's Kate's size. It is.
It's amazing.
It's Kate's size. All good.
Yeah.
No big deal. You must have been a threat. Were you sticking guys, like, reading the
Well, here's the difference. I played football in the JFL back as a kid.
Okay.
And anybody who played football as a kid had an advantage because a lot of kids didn't start playing football until high school.
Yeah.
Back then.
Anyway, go ahead. What happened to this dude?
So Jan Puhaka
Yeah.
Tragically was murdered. He is a professional hockey player out of Finland, one of the first openly gay hockey players.
Really?
And he was murdered by his partner.
How?
Don't know.
Damn, dude.
Nothing more. I'm sure there's a story. I haven't looked up the whole story. I can look up a story.
They usually would say that he had stab wounds or suffocation or gunshot.
Okay, well, let me see if I can.
Although they're in Norway, probably maybe not,
Finland,
or
maybe?
Finland, probably maybe not a gun. Although that does happen here and there. Like, don't get me wrong, but not as much as obviously here.
29-year-old professional hockey player.
Yeah.
They've opened a murder investigation into the death of a man in the city's Henta district on Sunday evening. According to a tabloid, the victim was 29-year-old former professional hockey player Jan Puhaka. Police said that officers detained a 65-year-old man who is suspected of shooting.
A 65-year-old man?
Shooting Puhaka to death.
Wow. How old is he? He's got to be young, right?
The tabloid, which I don't want to mispronounce, has reported the suspect is Rolf Nordmo, the victim's longtime Norwegian boyfriend.
And he's 65 years old? Interesting. Oh, that's brutal. Brutal.
Rolf Nordmo.
Brutal.
I don't know how many murders like that you have in Finland.
Yeah. No, not many. There's not many guns there, They're like in the, it's Not too many people live there. They've had their ways for a long time. They don't have much crime.
All they're saying is the suspect and the victim knew each other. Officers were called to the apartment on Sunday around 8 p.m. According to Hogman, the call to emergency services came from a third party. According to police, the suspect came out of the apartment without incident and that bystanders were not in danger during the incident.
Yeah, he probably... listen, I don't know. That's tragic. It's a tragic story.
Very tragic.
Yeah. I've never heard him,
Well, he didn't play in the NHL.
Okay.
That's probably why. And he played over in Europe. So anyway, that's just a story that
just
came
pop
out.
up. Yeah. Sad. I tell you what, this is the best time of year, man. Best time of year for sports. It truly, truly is.
Mm-hmm.
You got college football, you got football, you got hockey starting, you got playoff baseball going on. This is my favorite
Have
time.
not watched much of it.
It's interesting because you got fucking Shohei Ohtani.
I know.
You got the Mets involved. You got the Guardians that haven't won a World Series, and the Guardians. God.
Do you not like calling them that?
No, they're the Indians.
Would you want to call them the Indians?
Yeah, the Indians were awesome. I love their logo.
Mm-hmm. There's some talk that the aides of Joe Biden and Kamala are fighting one another.
Yeah, they might not be on the same page. They're saying one thing, he's saying it's.
Well, he came out and defended DeSantis.
I tell you what, JD Vance will own your soul in one-on-one interviews. Who was that chick that goes, "Well, JD, you're talking about illegal immigrants." And the El Salvador, the Venezuelan gang only took over a handful of apartment complexes. He goes, can you just listen to yourself? The Venezuelan illegal gang that's murdering people only took over a handful of apartment complexes in the United States. He's like, what?
There was one
shit like that. That's
okay,
crazy.
Listen, so there was one good conversation though that he was having where
he
had his way with the interviewer this time too, but it was interesting. The premise of the conversation was about all the illegals, but how that drives certain economics in our country.
Well, of course it
with
does.
Certain
Why would you
industries. So the question is you have all these illegals who work for
small amount of money,
small wages, right?
Yeah. Small wages, dude.
But
Big time.
they work in construction and whatever. So
in all kinds of stuff.
To put the emphasis on construction right now, if we were to remove those illegals from the country, do we have enough people in the U.S.
100,000%
to make up who are going to
100,000%.
Hold on.
I know what you're
saying. Are you interrupting? Who are going to want to work in construction, want to work for these poverty wages and whatever?
Well, no, they wouldn't. See, it would change the whole.
It would change. They wouldn't be getting paid that.
No, they would. But you would have a lot more people that are struggling right now out of the workforce, they would have an opportunity to do it. There's people that want to work, dude. Are you kidding?
So you're saying
people work their ass off.
So you're saying there's people that want to work in construction, but they want too much money. They won't work for the poverty wages.
And if and I know people with grass cut companies, landscape companies, to this to that, and they're like, dude, if things go down and we lose it's going to totally affect our business.
Yeah.
So there's just going to be a trickle down effect,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still not good.
Mm-hmm.
You're letting people in left and right, not knowing who they are. You really, really got to shut down the border. And that's another reason why I think people are going to sway one way or the other. That is a main issue.
What
in
if
my
they're
opinion,
not raping and murdering people and they're just living a regular, normal life in this country?
Yeah, I mean you're still here illegally. I don't know. There's going to be different measures for different people, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been here for? Do you have a family? Are you paying taxes? Are you paying taxes? Are you getting funded by the government that our taxpayers are paying for? Are you taking jobs of maybe some of the inner city folk that want jobs too? Now you're flooding on some of these inner cities. Now the black community was like, hey, no, we're struggling too.
Mm-hmm.
This is not helping us. There's a lot of issues.
You can't get jobs at hotels, for maid service and stuff like that.
There it is. There's a lot, man. So when you just keep hearing, this is taking a huge effect on the taxpayers too.
Mm-hmm.
No, man, there's some great people that want to just live a normal life. Absolutely. But there's also a lot of nasty, nasty people that some of these countries want to fucking let their jails out so they're not so populated. And you know what? Come over here and you just let them right in. They're going to be bad here. And we see that left and right with different stuff going on, not even just in the United States, all over. I talk to my buddies in Europe. I played over there. Shit's going down over there too. And it's very noticeable in some of these cities that's changing because they're letting a lot of these migrants come in.
Really? Even over in Europe?
Yes. Big time in Europe, dude. Big time. So, yeah, man, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. Listen, the bottom line is like we could have a discussion about it. Like, you can have a discussion. Don't ever fucking hate somebody because they're voting one way. You could look a little different on them. Some people look different on me. Hey, so if you're voting for Kamala, maybe I don't quite understand you, but I'll respect you. If you're a nice guy, just fucking be nice to people. And you know what? I will say this. If you have an opportunity, if you're around your family or around people that you really don't know, I would say don't bring up politics. Anything else. I don't give a shit. Try to be funny. Tell a story about doing something back in the day that you were embarrassed about. But once you start bringing politics up in a family event, when you know other people aren't thinking the same way, I would say that would not be
Don't bring up
good.
politics.
Just try not to. It's hard. I would say try not to. But if you know your buddies are around, we're back and shooting the shit, who cares? You know, or maybe, you know, but I would say if you want to not get people pissy, stay away from it.
Some things are just too good in life, Cam, that we probably don't even deserve. You know that? I mean, there's a lot of things out there that are just, we don't even deserve it. It's so
like
good.
Like what?
Like Alan Walsh versus Tim Peel.
I said that to JR there, Jeremy.
Alan Walsh versus Tim Peel.
What were they?
It's just too good.
What were they? Okay. What was, and we love both, just, we've had Alan on, we've had JR on.
Alan I've known for a long time.
We love everybody. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And very successful.
We love drama.
And a lot of GMs I talk to, like Alan, like you can say what you want. He's very outspoken.
Yes,
I would imagine the commissioner's office isn't a huge fan.
No.
But he obviously isn't a huge fan of the commissioner's office.
Takes care of his guys.
He has a prosecuting background, and he doesn't give a shit, and he speaks his mind. So from that standpoint, anybody who's willing to put their balls on the line and say what they feel and doesn't back down from it, I can't chirp for that.
What are they? Okay, so so funny. We love drama, by the way.
Now the JR Allen Walsh,
what was that all about?
Well, it goes back probably to the lockout back in 2004, 2005. And
Andy,
you know, Allen has been very outspoken. He is completely against the salary cap, and I don't want to speak for him on all this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, he's given his opinion on where things went wrong with that specific negotiation between the Players Association and the owners. And he's given his opinion on that. And he's pointed fingers probably at some people who are responsible for the economic climate that the players play under today. He doesn't like it. And he feels like it's created some issues in the league. Well, Jeremy Roenick was kind of a face of the players, you know, prior to, or when they were locked out and they missed an entire season of hockey, and prior to them, you know, getting back into the league. And was a very popular player at the time, was speaking publicly a lot at the time. And a lot of players kind of like changed their tune as they kept missing more and more paychecks and not getting paid, not playing. And Allen probably didn't like that. So they have a little bit of a different beef that goes back to, from what I understand, that negotiation, that CBA negotiation between the owners and the players. And both had a lot at stake going on at the time. The Peelsy thing, I don't know, like he just kind of all of a sudden is just...
Yeah, but are they chirping him hardcore?
Who was?
Is Peelsy chirping Alan Walsh?
I think he chirped him pretty good on a clip they put out on social media. And he chirped him pretty good. And was like basically saying, you know, his opinion of Alan Walsh, being very critical of Alan Walsh. And so what did Alan Walsh do?
Alan Walsh posted, because I'm like, what? Oh my damn, what's going on here? It entertains me. It's so petty, but who gives a fuck?
No, exactly.
So I'm like, okay, what's Peelsy saying now? And then and I look, and Alan Walsh like quote tweeted
a text he sent him.
A text he sent him saying,
I got your number from David Perron.
Yeah, would love to come on the pod.
I love how you defend your players and how outside, like completely against everything he just said. But that's what Allen will do, man. Allen will just like
I laugh so hard, dude.
he's got that prosecutor's background, and he will own you. You know what I'm saying? He'll get you.
Oh yeah, he'll defend himself for sure. I would hate having drama on Twitter though. Like that just would drive me nuts, man. I hate it, dude. You know, I hate it. I don't want to beef with people on Twitter. If I get mad and if I go toe to toe with somebody on Twitter, I look like a bully. I just automatically am a bully. The big tough guy, hockey players picking on this reporter, or they're yelling at each other. I just stay away, man. And it's unfortunate because you could build your Twitter up that way, but I can't deal with that shit.
And listen, we've known Peelsy for a long time, and JR obviously, and everybody. But like it's just we cover everything. It's like if it's part of the news cycle, it's like
hilarious.
It's in there. So it doesn't really have anything to do with us. We're just kind of analyzing it and breaking it down. But when you go off on somebody individually and then they post a text that you just sent them, I don't know how recent it was, about basically essentially begging to come on, you know?
Oh,
it's just funny. Dude. Did it end there? I don't know if anybody had any response after that or not.
I don't know. I gotta dig back at it, but that kind of shit just cracks me up, man.
So funny. It's so funny
because it's petty.
Yeah,
it's the stupidest, pettiest shit ever.
Right.
Nothing affects anything. Maybe if JR's chirping, like I get, but people, you get chirped. We all get chirped. Like it's just such a petty thing. But goddamn, it makes me fucking laugh.
Hey, one more person I want to give a shout out to because I said it all summer long, and I'll say it again right now because Jordan Kyrou is going to have a breakout year. He wasn't great in the last couple minutes of the game the other night against Vegas. He just looked gassed to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of
games. And just, when you're tired mentally, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to turn pucks over. So the last minute or two, if you want to go by that, he wasn't great in the last couple of touches that he had in the game. But he just looks quicker, confident. He and Buchnevich have such great chemistry together. Good. I'd like to find more ice, and I know they're trying to, for Robert Thomas to get on the ice with those guys because, I don't know if you need Neighbors and Holloway together. You know what I'm saying? They just kind of play like, Robert Thomas wants to play that give-and-go game, play with more skilled players. And, you can say, well, it's his job to make other guys around him better. But at the end of the day, and he is playing good hockey right now, Robert Thomas, he's making plays, he's scoring goals.
Nice goal the other day.
But... guys,
I get you.
Skilled guys and superstar players and all that. They want to play with other star players, man, who think and can play at their level, And so I don't mind him with Neighbors, and I don't mind him with Holloway either. But I think when you put Neighbors and Holloway with Robert Thomas, I think you got to find a way.
Wouldn't Saad kind of creep up in the mix?
Saad will change that a little bit. Yeah.
Does that change your opinion on it if Saad's on that line too?
Yeah. With Neighbors, sure.
I like that line.
Yeah. Texier obviously got hurt.
Yeah, we'll see where he's at too. He looked pretty good at couple nice little plays.
Yeah, but then he hadn't played the last couple of games. You get them back.
Did he get a shot in the foot? Whoa.
It must have. I don't want to speculate.
No, I know, but that's usually like when you just kind of your foot can't get in your boot.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate.
So I don't know.
So and the goaltending situation in Toronto. Do you have an opinion on that? And I love Joseph Wool. I've known him for a long time. I know the mom,
stay
the parents.
healthy, man. It is
but
what it is.
That's
it's getting chirped, dude. Fucking big boy, what's his name, was chirping.
Rosehill?
Big J Rosehill. What's up, a little shout out. He's just like, fuck. Like, hey, man, like, we kind of need you here. Every time, like, push comes to shove and it's like things starting up, like you're hurt.
Yeah. And if you're hurt, man. Like, he's had groin issues in the past. Yeah. And I think if you're a goaltender, you feel something tightening up or something's not right.
It's hard to go post to post.
I mean, do you want to put yourself in there and all of a sudden risk now missing the rest of the season or a good chunk of the season? But when you have a reputation,
dude,
and you're trying to shake that reputation, and you have an opportunity to be the guy, it's hard for certain people to digest that when it's the first game of the season.
And certainly goalies are different too, because you can't go post to post like you're gonna get lit up like a Christmas tree.
But it's the first game of the season, and you're saying it's lower body tightness, which doesn't.
It's like a baseball injury.
It doesn't say it's like an injury. It's just like you don't.
Some things you could suck up too. I don't know where they're at with the pain level or if it's avoiding him from again.
So who knows what the real situation is there?
But if sometimes when you're a defenseman or a forward, like you could suck up different kinds of injuries.
Yeah, right. But as a goalie, if you've got groin,
if a goalie, it depends on what it is.
If you suffer a serious groin injury, you may never ever feel the same.
No, I know. If you can't go post to post, then you have a problem, and it's not good for your team. So you're being selfish playing if you're injured.
I just know how Chief can be too. Like he may not be as patient
No one is with injuries
as
like
other
that.
coaches with certain players.
Not many coaches are patient.
Who spend more time in the trainer's room than they do on the ice.
I tell you this right now, I don't know any coaches that I played for that are that patient. Depends on the situation. Every situation is different. But if you're constantly, and it's just little things and little things and little things and little things, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
like you're always there, you're doing this, like everybody sees that.
Yeah.
It does get
I'm
annoying.
with you. The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by Hat Launch Cam. We've got Mike Keenan coming up. And I'm looking forward to this conversation with Iron Mike, baby. He's got that book out and everything else that's going on. But we just want to shoot the shit with him. Listen, we had a conversation with him a few years back when we first started. It must have been one of the first 5 or 10 podcasts that we ever did. I'm curious if anyone's ever gone back and listened. Like, if you're a new listener within the last year or so, did you ever go back and listen to the first 10 episodes, 20 episodes? Did it sound different?
I'm afraid to.
I don't have it in me to go back and listen. I can't do it.
Well, I can't listen to the old COVID ones because we sound so goofy because we're just on cell phones.
So Mike Keenan came on, and we, dug pretty hard into a lot of the stuff and drama that went down with him in St. Louis and probably New York too. So this conversation may be a little bit different than what you were thinking you were going to hear with Mike Keenan, although we get into a lot of different things. But go back and listen to that interview, and you'll get. You can't ask the same questions every time you have him on.
It's been 4 years, though.
Yeah.
And we're in a different setup.
No, I know.
I don't know. I think we could dip into some.
Yeah.
So if we do, don't bitch at us for that because, you know what I mean?
Hat Launch and hatlaunch.com, Cam.
Yeah, dude. Look at right here, baby. Right
Say
here.
Hi to Danny, boy.
Danny, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? You guys are the best in the business. Check them out. You got your girls' volleyball team, the kids' baseball team. Hell, I was in Eureka. There's baseball kids. I mean, kids everywhere wearing their own hats. I'm going up to kids, talking to them. I'm like, dude, your hat looks pretty cool. Your hat looks pretty cool. Yeah. They all have it. Go to Hat Launch and get it done right. They made these badass Cam and Strick ones.
America's number one source for customized hats. They've got Shirt Launch too, man. So you can have shirts made.
Awesome.
Everyone loves apparel. And merchandise, dude. Get yourself some merch for your company, your baseball team, your hockey team, whatever it is. Do it today.
Dang right.
Hat Launch, baby. Firstform.com. Dude, get your life on track, man. Especially now. Don't wait for after the holidays.
Yeah.
Some people make that mistake. They say, you know what? I'm just going to wait till after the holidays. It's going to be my New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
Make it an everyday resolution.
Because you know what happens
make
with
it
that?
a lifestyle.
You just have to make up another 3 months. You're like, I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to start back up in New Year's. And by the time summer hits, you're still far behind. So you might as well keep going and let it ride, baby. So by the time you have to take your shirt off again, you're not wearing a shirt in a pool like Andy does.
Never done that. Unless I get thrown in, which I think is a dick move to do, to throw somebody in the pool.
Don't throw me in the fucking pool.
Don't throw me in the pool. You don't know what's in my pockets.
Don't throw me in the pool.
Oh, I used to hate that.
People did that to you?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, Andy.
You know, like at a party, late night, everybody starts throwing everybody in the pool.
I mean, there's no cell phones in your pocket then, I guess. But my wallet's in my pocket. No, don't do that.
Maybe other stuff.
People threw you in a pool.
Too.
Oh, I don't like that. I would have stuck up for you.
No, I don't know if I ever really. I mean,
well, you said
everybody's.
Now I feel like you're getting thrown in the pool all the goddamn time.
It wasn't like a bullied situation, but I think everyone's been pushed in the pool or thrown in the pool.
I don't do that to
Don't
people.
you ever?
That's how you get hurt,
Have you ever been to like a pool party or late night? One person goes in and now everybody starts throwing everybody in.
If you're with your close buddies and you're partying all night, but if you're like a party and you're trying to talk to chicks and there's a pool right there, you get thrown in like David Perron did by goddamn the boxer.
Did he get thrown in by that guy?
By the what's his name? The boxer from Scotland, Tyson Fury's like gangster buddy. David Perron is literally, they're all playing the same damn song, Gloria, over and over again in Vegas, and they're partying with a cup in 2019. David Perron has the cup going like this, yay, fun, yay, fun. And this scary-looking son of a bitch with tattoos lit up all fucking through his chest goes up to Perron, throws him, pushes him into a concrete-filled hot tub, not a pool, where there's steps. He could have hit his fucking head, falls into it, like, bam! And Edmondson and those guys look at him, and they see this guy. He's laughing like fucking idiots. Turns around, walks away, and everybody in the Blues organization that was right there partying was like, "Oh boy!" And thank God they didn't go fuck with him because that guy's probably a stone cold killer.
What if it was like 10-on-1?
They had fucking shit kickers over there. That was Tyson Fury's fucking boys.
Did they come over? I think David talked to us about this when he came on.
Tyson Fury came over and apologized and talked to him because he's a cool ass cat.
Oh. Yeah, I was going to say.
Because he hangs out with gangsters where he grew up, dude. He's a fucking gypsy boy.
Where's he from?
Fucking, I think Is it Scotland?
You think they've got tough, hardcore gangs over there?
No, they have this like they're just all tough, dude. That's in
Like
their
if I
blood,
dropped them
tough.
off at the corner of like Cass and
Hardcore
whatever.
downtown, they're gonna get shot. This is like non-weapon tough guys. Okay, those guys will shoot you for your freaking notes, dude, and step on your body and walk around and not even care that
They'll
you're laying
shoot
there.
you for your jacket.
And no one even know there's a body right there. They wouldn't.
They're like,
that's
"Give me your
hard.
jacket."
Yeah.
No, they
Boom,
shoot you, and then
anyway.
I'm like, "Well, now my jacket's no good. It's got blood in his holes."
Or
all
they'll
over it."
shoot you for your phone and make a call and get arrested, and then probably let out. But anyway,
How long do they spend in jail? You think?
it depends, dude. I saw a clip. There's a horrible clip of these two just fucking tattoos all over their face. I don't know where they're fucking from. So doesn't matter. They just look hardcore. They're
Like the girl who just
they're
cut
filming.
Ty's
Hold
hair.
on. Well, no, that's all good. They're filming themselves driving their car. These two fucking pieces of dog shit.
Mhm.
They see a guy riding his bike, an ex like sheriff or whatever, somebody in law enforcement for a long time, retired, and they're like, "Fuck this motherfucker! I'm gonna fucking hit him. Let's hit him." And they took their car, fucking slammed the gas, and hit this guy and killed him. Laughed about it, filmed about it. Now they're going in. One of them's going into a psych ward, so he's not even going to go to jail. Like that kind of shit. Like he was laughing in court, didn't care, and now he's not even going to get. It's just shit like that, dude. That drives me nuts.
Okay. Well, thanks.
I know Andy's on his phone, doesn't even listen.
Thanks
to
for
what I'm talking
sharing
about.
that.
Well, it's
Thanks.
hardcore.
No,
You
thanks.
asked me.
Sharing is caring, dude.
What are you bringing? Anything else to the table? You get on that. Let's go.
Firstform.com.
Now I'm talking about hardcore shit.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. I asked you about gangsters in Scotland.
No, dude, David Pronger got thrown in by one.
Okay. We established that one.
And Tyson Fury apologized,
Okay,
which is
well,
cool.
We got you.
You know,
Yeah.
I saw that video. I'm like,
Okay. Hatlaunch.com. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Use our link. Get all the products we were just telling you. Hey, man, make that lifestyle change and do it today. This is not, the First Form's not just for the meathead in the weight room.
no, it's for
The
women.
it's for the trucker. It's for the women. It's for the
yeah, it's for everybody.
It's for
staying healthy.
It's for the dad of 5.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
The mother of 5.
It's for the soccer mom.
Yeah, anybody. It's for anybody, really.
Yeah.
So it's not just a guy that goes there and throws up, 400 pounds of bench. Like none of that stuff.
Like me.
Like Andy. It could be for a guy like Andy too. Your fruits, your vegetables, your vitamins, all kinds of different
get
stuff.
the greens and the reds, man.
Yeah.
Shake those up, baby. Put those in one of
Collagen.
those shaker. Collagen. My wife is having such incredible results with that collagen. by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah. No, I drink that in my coffee. It just dissolves in your coffee. It doesn't taste like anything.
Well, they do have collagen that is flavored.
Yeah,
though, so
I get the non-flavored kind. And
Okay.
it just dissolves in whatever you want to put it in.
You just mix it up.
Yep. So good stuff.
You probably use that like powder creamer, like back in the day.
No,
Coffee
I
mate.
like it black, baby.
Like that shit is so bad for you.
I like black coffee.
I
Black
put-
coffee.
I put a little bit of oat milk in there, maybe.
It's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
just kind of cream it up. a
People
little bit.
care. People care. People are listening right now. Like,
Yeah.
tell me more, Andy.
Illinois Recovery Center, Cam.
Oh, it's my boys, Chrissy Ponoff, Eric Conley. Love you guys. I had a guy text me the other day up in Barrie, Ontario. He's like, dude, Cam, my buddy, he ain't good. He ain't good. I go, what's going on? He's getting a divorce, doing a ton of blow. Just a ton of blow. Spending money. Listen, blow ain't cheap, all y'all. Just so you know. And Chrissy knows about it too. You can go through fucking thousands of dollars worth of blow. And you could smoke it, snort it. Like it's fucking, some people inject it. You get so hardcore on it. You get really, it's very, very
They
addictive.
inject cocaine.
Yes, you can inject cocaine, damn right.
What do you mix it with? It just
You just fucking burn it up and make it liquid, and you inject it.
so it turns into liquid
It's
when you
fucking
burn it up.
dangerous.
And how do you smoke cocaine?
Put in your little cigarette, dude. You got your little cocaine
Oh.
pile. You take a little bit of the tobacco out. You dump that motherfucker in there, and you start smoking. You can fucking pack it in a goddamn pipe if you want.
Got it.
You want to fucking waste money and feel like a fucking psychopath. That shit is addicting. Now, I will say,
Recovery Center, baby.
hold on. I will say though, like getting off of coke, like it's easier than you think. I know nothing's easy, but they will help you at Illinois Recovery Center. So if I'm talking to this guy who's having a problem up in Barrie, man, I'm just telling you, dude, they will take care of you, and you'll feel like $1 million, and you won't think about it anymore. So you got to get down there, man. You got to fucking protect yourself. You got to help this kid. I know whoever texts me, man, you got to help your buddy out because that is a downward
What do you
spiral.
think he should do?
You got to get help, dude. Unless he could possibly stop cold turkey and get away from it and turn off your, you know you have your buddy's number in your goddamn phone. Delete his number. That's number one. Your drug dealers, fucking delete their number. Just delete it. And just try not to think about it. But anytime you do something, you're so used to doing a specific drug in that particular, it just haunts you and haunts you.
Okay, you know what I think they should do?
What? Call Illinois Recovery Center.
Yeah.
They'll help you.
Call Chrissy, call Eric.
Yeah, they'll help you.
Like, that's what you should have told him, and you should have given him their number.
I did. He asked me.
Yeah,
come on.
because like that's how you.
Of course.
That's how you do it, and
So
let them help him.
I get it, man. Everybody's going through different stuff, man.
Yeah.
Coke, alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So
Meth.
anyway, if you have that issue, man, we'll get you in touch with Chrissy and Eric.
They'll take care of you.
Yeah.
They will.
Illinois Recovery Center, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Spark skate sharpeners, baby.
Oh God, dude, I talked to a lot of guys skating the other day.
Yeah.
They're talking about sparks.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, my skates are getting a little fucked up. I kept doing the little yang yang thing with the little skate sharpener thingy.
Yeah.
And I go, and some of the guys are like, dude, you just gotta. He goes, I just put my fucking thing right in the sparks.
Dude, it's great.
But they all got kids too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah. So a lot of guys in the locker room with their kids have sparks.
Yeah.
Something to deal with.
Well, why wouldn't you?
I don't know.
Right?
No,
I mean, if you
seriously.
have kids that play hockey,
I know.
why wouldn't you do it?
Because these kids like step on shit. They're stepping on screws. Like their skates they could be sharp, but you step on one thing, you gotta get them sharpened again.
Yeah.
So you might as well have sparks, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Because that will ruin your weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have a fucking nick so bad you can't get it out with anything. You have to really cross grind, get that thing out of there.
Done.
You're done. Can't play.
No.
Literally, you cannot play if you have a nick that big,
Yeah.
Andy.
No, you're right.
You'll fall down like Andy did last time he played in the alumni game.
I went hard into the wall, and
When
then I scored a couple goals. I think after that. So
It's all good. But Andy toe picks and just slides. I'm like,
it wasn't a toe pick.
I'm like, God damn, he's gonna hurt himself.
It wasn't a toe pick. I lost an edge.
You folded the right way into the boards.
Yeah,
Scared. Literally scared.
You have to go into the boards the right way.
It's hard.
And that's you saw what happened to Barkov, man.
Yeah, man.
He went foot first.
I know. Or head first.
Head first is bad too.
Shoulder bad. You just gotta you have to absorb it.
Stützle was okay though.
Yeah.
The net was empty.
He wanted that empty netter, didn't he? Hell yeah, he did.
When the rink was closed because no one showed up to open up the rink the other day, everyone was asking me on messages saying, Seth can work at rinks, dude.
No, Seth could work anywhere, dude. Seth could work at the gas station. Seth could work on your car.
Oh, God. I just paid you $3,500 to fix this, Seth.
You paid,
and it's still not working.
It's like National Lampoon's Vacation when they blow a tire out and those two hillbilly boys are like, how much money you got? Well, I'm going to call the sheriff. He goes, I am the sheriff. Remember that? Then he walked like in the desert.
I don't remember movie scenes
that movie
very well.
That was a god.
No, I do remember. I remember when
funny.
they drove through East St. Louis and they
roll them up.
Roll them up. Hey, use our promo code Cam and Strick, and you'll save more money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday, man, on a Spark skate sharpener. Don't be like Seth. Don't take it to the hockey shop. Woo! And Seth is working. Let's ruin the tournament, Cam.
He sucks in a lot of different ways that we don't even need to get into.
Oh, my God. He's a bad guy.
Doing weird things, but...
Like what?
I don't know. Look at his basement. Look at his room, Mom and Dad. My son's a good kid. Oh, yeah? Look under his bed.
Ugh.
Do you smell pneumonia?
Oh, my God.
Get on with yourself.
Get a Sparks and use our promo code Cam and Strick. Blue Note Roofing, Cam. Our boy, David Novak, man.
David, what up, baby?
This guy's the man. Whatever you're looking for, man. Roofing, gutters, fascia, soffit, siding. Dude, this guy is the absolute best. 314-920-5713. Call him today. Just shoot the shit with him. Talk Blues hockey with him.
Oh, yeah.
He'll talk hockey with you all day long. Doesn't have to be Blues either. 314-920-5713. Blue Note Roofing, baby.
Great guy. Damn good work.
Did you see that camera guy who was filming somebody at like a tailgate on top of a roof? And his foot caved through the roof, and then he dropped that thousands of dollars camera all over the ground.
No, missed that one. Sure was a big deal at the time.
He just dropped it off the roof, the camera.
And he's going to have to buy a new one.
Oh, it was awful.
Should he have gotten a new roof?
He should have gotten a roof from Blue Note Roofing.
Okay, is that what you're trying to say?
They wouldn't have had that issue.
Yeah, man.
Or it's a perfect time for them to call Blue Note Roofing.
We get weird weather here. We get like hardcore wind gusts. You know what I mean? We've had hail.
Mhm.
So your roof can get beat up pretty quick, and your insurance will take care of it. But have Blue Note Roofing get it done, and they'll get it done quick.
Yes.
And when you see that new roof, it makes your house look damn good.
Mm-hmm. Blue Note Roofing. Give them a call today, 314-920-5713. Shilly Plastering. Get plastered with Shilly Plastering.
Take care of your pool. That's your investment, okay? That's your investment. You don't have to go anywhere else. You have your pool.
Yeah.
So when it gets kind of fucked up, you have to take care of it, man.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll do a damn good job.
Yes, they will.
Pebble Tech too, by the way.
Oh,
You're gonna
5-year
have to
warranty on the Pebble
pool,
Tech technology.
You gotta get the right stuff. Let them take care
Turn
of
your
it.
backyard into an absolute oasis.
You'll never want to leave the house.
Dude, he
They'll
does,
actually
he
save
does
you
the
money.
most amazing projects.
You know?
Go to his Instagram or his Facebook page, man. See all the stuff
check it
that he's
out.
doing.
Damn right.
Ryan Shilly, baby.
Yep. His daddy coached me AAA. What's up, Dave?
What's
Little
up, baby?
shout
What's
out.
up? What's up? What's
They've
up?
been around for a long time.
Nobody better. Any big dog who has a pool in town, man. I always say, and I say this every week, man. I say, who did your Shilly Plastering?
Yeah, right. They did. They've been around for a long time. Love hockey too, man. Support youth hockey. They put their time in, dude.
Yeah.
We love that.
Cam at Bellman, you get no.
Swinging dicks. I went out by Troy the other day. Troy's out there, baby.
Hell yeah,
There's
is.
a lot. It's building up out there like no other. Big time.
It's not that
man.
far though.
No, he's right down
It's
Farty.
easy.
Right down Farty.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's no swinging dick, so your wife can go check out cars and stuff like
Yes, I
that.
know.
And people are gonna like they're sweet. They're like they're not like intimidating. They're not like aggressive,
No.
chirping you, or, you know.
And they'll give you sushi and flavored water too, which is, I mean, what better customer service than that?
Good content. I think it's nothing else, eh?
Damn, it's great.
Nothing.
It's the truth.
It's a lie. You have to lie to people. At least I'm telling like there's literally no swinging dicks. They're not gonna come out there fucking aggressive
but they'll
weirdos.
they'll give you sushi and flavored water too, though. So
I don't think people want sushi when you go to a car dealership.
you don't have to have it.
You don't want that.
You don't have to
dude,
have it.
You know? I mean,
You don't
it
have
just doesn't
to
make
ha-
any sense.
Well,
It
you
just
don't
doesn't make
have-
any like
No,
to be
don't have-
creative.
no, you don't have to
have that
have it.
creative gene. That's okay.
Yes, I do.
You don't have the creative gene.
Well,
You have other
is that the left
gene-
side of the brain or the right
you don't
side of the
have
brain?
it. It's fine.
Which side of the brain is that?
Don't know. But you're not a creative gene kind of guy. No big deal. It's all good. Sushi and flavored water doesn't make any sense.
Do you have any? Are you an artist? Do you have artist capabilities? Can you
With
draw?
that-
Can you paint?
I would like to. I
But
wish I could.
you can't.
Like my boy,
Bobby Ross, baby.
Make that mountain for me. I'll get Stone Cold Steve Austin,
And
and
paint.
I'll watch that.
I used to in college. We had party back in the day, and go over to people. They'd have like canvases, and everybody just paint and stuff like that, and just look at the mountains and
badass
out the window. That's peace. That's calm.
And he went to painting parties in college. Everybody else is fucking beer bogging. He's at a painting party.
Oh,
Come
I
on, Andy. So you set yourself up for that.
beer bong.
I wasn't even going to be
I was
chirpy.
beer bonging in high school.
I wasn't even
Beer
going to be
bonging.
chirpy. You're painting.
I
dude.
wasn't beer bonging in college.
painting
dude.
with his buddies. What is that all
I was
about?
beer
That's
bonging in high
odd.
school.
Dude.
Proper cannabis, baby.
Man, listen, did a little autograph signing, talked to a bunch of people, hung out with the boys, and then I went to that gosh dang chili cook-off, and I got my mind right, just so all y'all know, because you never want to do
chili cook-off.
you don't want to be a judge and you're not hungry. Okay, like you take an Adderall or
Oh.
something, and you're just not hungry. It's not fair to them because this is going to go in the paper and stuff like that, and people do
It's
read
not
that.
the paper. It's like the town newsletter.
Yeah, but that's
Okay,
they like
just
that
settle
in
down.
Eureka.
Settle
And
down.
No, not
Cam
no,
acts like
no.
it's in the USA Today, the New York Times.
No. In Eureka's little thing, but everybody gets it there
Yeah.
and they read it, dude. This
Who
is
were
a
the
small
other
town.
judges? I didn't recognize
Bunch
any.
of police chief, bunch of shit kicking fucking. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
badass dudes.
Okay.
You're damn right. So anyway,
Yeah.
I got my mind right, and I really enjoyed. Like I tasted everything.
Cam gives it to the barbecue place. The barbecue place is the winner.
Super Smokers goddamn won. I had no idea.
That's like
I
a
just-
chain. It's like a
No,
chain in
it's
St.
so-
Louis.
No, they have a couple places. You need to calm down.
They got a lot of
They
places.
listen to this podcast.
They got a lot of
There's more
places.
people that listen to this podcast than you think, and a lot of people in Eureka. So if you start getting chirpy fucking poo, I'll unleash them on you. They are
Come
fucking
to
hardcore.
Come to a painting
I'm
party.
just
with
telling.
me.
Oh Jesus, man, I don't even know about that, homie.
All right, go ahead.
Anyway, that man,
That's it. Cam,
damn good
Cam,
chili.
he tastes.
Jesus Christ!
He's the chili expert.
No, I. If I'm gonna do that, I take my time, and I don't give. Oh, that's a 5. That's a, no.
He's at the town fair.
Was
he's
strict.
He's at the town fair.
I know. Listen, I know my taste buds. I've made damn good chili before. I eat a lot of stuff. I eat barbecue, all that stuff. I had a ton of chili. I know what's good.
He gave it to the Italian restaurant.
Any
and
of your
to
restaurants, I'll be fair.
And the Bacardis are my guys.
Bacardi's one. They had mushrooms in it. And I'm like, damn.
Well, that's a no for me.
It was damn good. Next time I go to Joe Bacardi's, I'm gonna get that gosh dang chili. Damn good chili.
That's a no for me.
Yeah, I know. The meat's a no for you. You wouldn't have eaten any of that shit. You would have been like
mushrooms. Cam was like, I'm gonna give it to the barbecue place in the Italian restaurant.
No idea. It was the best.
Not to the shit kicker.
How about the police
chili
chief?
Cook?
The police chief agreed with me too. You gonna make fun of him?
No.
I'm just saying.
I don't have any evidence.
No, we had the same.
I don't have any evidence of that.
We had the same score. Yeah. You gonna chirp him?
Let's go to
No, and trust me, they're listening.
Mike Keenan.
All the police listen.
Proper Cam and Strict 20, it'll save you 20%. Get what you need. The honeybee edibles. If you're dealing with pain, sleep issues, man, hey, the experts there will take care of you. Many of the locations have a drive-through, by the way. You don't have to get out of your car at Proper Cannabis. So get whatever you need. Proper Cannabis. Cam and Strict 20 will save you 20%. Iron Mike Keenan, baby.
Yeah.
He's probably been to a painting party or two.
I bet he hasn't.
The Cam and Strict podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/camandstrict.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/Cam and Strict.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview.
How's your place in Key West? Like, is it how the hurricanes down there?
Yeah, it's fine. We got lucky. Both hurricanes missed Key West. Basically missed the Keys. It was out about 150 miles out in the Gulf as it went by. So, there was tropical storms and some wind, a little bit of rain. Well, a little bit of flooding, but nothing serious.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you, Mike.
Hey, great.
Appreciate this.
Are you having turkey today?
No, we had the turkey yesterday. Thank you, though.
Okay. All right. Hey, we just hit record and we just go, man.
Go.
So, and it's great to have you back on. Yeah. When we had you on last time, I think it had to be one of our first 10 episodes that we ever had done. It was like 4+ years ago. Do you remember that or no? Probably not.
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
We'll take that out.
That's all good. That's all good.
How much hockey you watching, man? You still obsessed with the game? You watch it all the time or what?
Well, I was in Italy the last 2 seasons. I was signed up to to coach the national program, the national team leading to the Olympics. So I didn't see that much NHL hockey. I saw a lot of hockey, scouting players in various countries in Europe. I came back to scout a couple of guys in the American League as well. But for the most part, I didn't see that much NHL hockey because I wasn't here.
Like where at in Italy? It sounds
I was
beautiful
in
already.
Bolzano, which is in the Dolomites and the Alps.
Oh wow,
and
northern. Yeah.
I was very, very surprised. Every little town has a hockey rink, and it's the wealthiest region in the country in Italy, and the kids, boys and girls, either play hockey or ski or do both. So it was quite. I was quite surprised that they had so many hockey rinks. And
are you
borders right on Austria as well?
Yeah,
so
beautiful, like the most beautiful place in the world.
Are you going to coach the Olympic team for Italy in 2026?
I was signed up to do it. I don't know if you guys know, but I just had open heart surgery.
Oh my God. Okay.
And last April 2nd. And now I'm a consultant. I said they wanted me to come back and get at it right away. I had to miss the last World Championships because of that. So I'm in good health now. Doctor in Presbyterian Girardi did a super job. So it was daunting, but I'm fine. So, but to answer that question, I'll be at the Olympics, but just as a consultant to their team.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, being a scout like that, traveling all over the place, like it wears you out. You should just chill and start doing podcasts like you used to.
Actually, it wasn't that taxing because the trips there aren't that far.
Yeah, boom,
You know,
boom,
when
boom.
you fly from Italy to Austria or up to Slovakia or Slovenia or Germany, it's not that far. So it's not really that taxing as as it could be if you're coaching in the NHL. And Russia was unbelievable. When I was coaching there, some of our trips were 8 hours
Oh,
in the jet. So that
oh,
country's huge.
Oh my God, I
Yeah.
know.
I mean, Canada, we think Canada's big, but this
no,
place is huge.
gigantic.
Yeah.
And barren, too.
You know, there's got to be 5 or 6 NHL teams that you never coached, Mike. So we got some teams we got to cross off before it's all said and
Yeah.
done. Where was your favorite stop
Yeah.
outside of the hockey? Where did you enjoy to live the most? And you
Yes.
can answer it in terms of your favorite place to coach. I mean, you won a Stanley Cup in New York, so I would imagine the memories, even though it didn't end great because you left there and came to St. Louis, but still winning a Stanley Cup will always go down as a positive memory. But where was your favorite place to live?
Yeah, that was, but um, I had a great setup in Chicago,
Oh, yeah.
and my daughter went to excellent schools. So, and that time, all the teams were winning. Like the Bears had just won the Super Bowl, and Micheal Jordan and Phil Jackson are hooked up with the Bulls, and we're going to the Stanley Cup finals or Final Four. So it was
Wow.
a nice community to live in. And, you know, I was there almost 5 years. So that, but I had some great stops. You know, Vancouver's unbelievable city downtown. I lived right downtown. Right downtown Calgary, Philadelphia. I mean, I lived in Clayton when I was in St. Louis. That's a beautiful community. So I was fortunate. I had nice places to live.
Oh, yeah.
You ever hang out with Micheal Jordan?
Yeah, well, Micheal Jordan was great to me. He always gave me his worn jerseys and shoes and the whole outfit to to donate to charities. So no, I should have kept them, but no.
Oh my God, Mike!
Mike.
You know what you
I'm
could have
telling
done
you.
with those game-worn
I
shoes
mean,
of Micheal Jordan?
I mean,
Yeah.
Who'd you give them to? Your
Yeah.
daughter's Girl Scout troop or what?
yeah.
No, I'll tell
They
you.
made a lot of
who,
money.
I gave them to a couple of times to Glenn Sather, the Edmonton Oilers, because they were having a big fundraiser for the Oilers. So, you know, they got Gretzky. I said, Glenn, here's Michael's stuff too. But a little story about Michael. The old stadium was a little bit archaic when we went there, so we redid our dressing room. I asked the owner, Bill Wirtz, to redo it, and we had a little medical room, but the Bulls didn't have a medical room. So Michael come in one day and said, Mike, do you mind if we come in here and get taped up or something? I said, no problem. But I don't know if you guys would remember or would recall those little whirlpools that they had that were stainless steel.
Mm-hmm.
So one day I go into the medical room. There's Micheal Jordan and Scottie Pippen sitting in this little thing. Their knees are up past their ears. So I said, "You guys got to be kidding me!" So they just started laughing. But because our dressing rooms were virtually adjacent to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I saw them a lot, and they were kind enough when they were playing those playoff games. I'd sit right on the floor for the playoff games. So, and we were going every other night. Chicago was crazy because that one particular year we went to the finals against Pittsburgh, and the Bulls were playing the Blackhawks almost every other night. So. And then, you know, Ditka was in town. He just won the Super Bowl. So it was pretty electric around Chicago at that time.
Yeah, but you
Great
know,
city.
Chris Chelios, you know, Jeremy Roenick, when they go around, they're going to have attention. But Micheal Jordan in that town, it's just on a completely different level, like no one's ever seen before.
Same with Ditka too, man.
And Ditka,
you know?
and smoking cigars at hotels, doing his thing. You guys had big dogs in that
Walter
town.
Payton, man.
Wow. Chicago, man, oh man.
It was alive. It was alive. And yeah, our hockey players were celebrities, but Michael was a superstar,
Oh yeah. No,
celebrity status. So
yeah, completely different level.
still
Hey,
is.
listen, how would you think you'd have to change to coach in today's game? You think you'd be able to? Like, would you be able to have the same personality, the same interactions, truly be Iron Mike, man? Could you be Iron Mike in today's game?
Uh, I'll answer it this way. I coached in 5 decades. And if you don't make some adjustments or make some changes, you don't last for 5 decades. And we won in every decade, our teams. So the answer is I think I am bright enough to figure that out. That if I coached like I did in 1986, I'd last for about 5 minutes. So I think I could adjust the. I went to a foreign country. I had to learn to speak enough Russian to communicate. Lived in a community where nobody could speak English. 5 players out of the 25 spoke a little bit of English. And so we won championship my first year, but, it's completely different context. First of all, the ice surface was 15 feet wide, or we are on the Olympic ice surface. So you had to teach differently. And then you certainly had to, there was no sense to me challenging them that often because they wouldn't understand what I was saying anyway. So,
So how did you do that? How do you communicate? Like
well,
even in practice?
When I first started, Ilya Voroviev, his father was a legendary coach in Russia. And he played in Russia, then he went and played in Germany. Very bright young guy. He's coaching now in the KHL, but he was interpreting for me. And then one day I turned to him and said, "Why aren't you interpreting for me?" And he says, "I don't need to. You know enough to communicate with them." So that was pretty cool, actually. That I knew enough Russian, and I wouldn't know anything about the alphabet, but I could hear it and listen to it, and I picked it up very quickly. So it was interesting, an interesting challenge trying to win on the bigger ice surface in a foreign country and then going through that language barrier. So it worked out well for us.
Who was the first Russian you remember coaching, like bringing guys over from Russia?
The first Russians to win the Stanley Cup were the four Russians that played for us. But I brought Igor Kravchuk. He was the first. I drafted him, and he was the first Russian ever to play for the Blackhawks. And then I had a couple of guys on the Blues, and God bless their souls. Pavel Dmitriev wasn't a Russian, but Himmelev was, and we lost a few guys in that plane crash. That I coached all the coaches, and they all perished. So that was a terrible tragedy. But anyway. Then, I had many superstars, Pavel Bure, Alex McGillney in Vancouver, and the kids the young fellows I just mentioned in New York. I brought Kravchuk. It was first one. I didn't have any in Philly. I didn't have, they weren't here yet. So I had a couple of guys from Czech Republic, and back then might have been called Czechoslovakia, but I had no Russians until I got Kravchuk in Chicago.
And crazy stories about when these guys came over. Yeah. How accurate's the story about Mogilny, though? Apparently you went after him a little bit in the dressing room, and he said something like, "Hey, listen, I'm not afraid of you. If you knew everything my family went through just to come over and what I had to do to get out of Russia." Is that an accurate story? Is that what he said to you, Alexander Mogilny?
Well, I don't recall, but I wouldn't underestimate him because when I went to coach there, the culture of the country, and Mike Polino went with me, and he was an assistant coach with me in the NHL and played for me in junior and played for me at the University of Toronto. And I said, Mike, we have to understand, not to be understood. It's very important for us to understand the culture we're dealing with and the mentality of the players. And we did. But they're, and it's interesting through this book launch, a few people have asked me this question, but their attitude when I first went there, they held the coach in the highest level. The coach in Russia is very important to the population, to the people, to the team, to the players, more so than I ever experienced in North America. So they like, it's a revered position, coaching, and he had some tough coaches. I'm sure that Tikhonov and guys like that who coached them are they were just super easy to coach though. Their approach, I mean, you like you said, would you change? Well, I didn't have to say too much to them. I'd give them the instructions and tell them what we wanted to do, and they tried their best to do it. So, and they did it because we were the first non-Russians to win a championship with the KHL.
Yeah, Russia is very, very curious about it. And the people that we've had on throughout the years that talk about it, and they talk about the Russian gas, and the guys would go and they put a little thing on and they do their thing, and all of a sudden they have a lot more energy. Was that did you notice that then in the locker room with the trainers?
Was it an injection?
Was it just like
yeah,
what was it? What was
it? They definitely, and I really never could find out what they were doing, but they definitely, I would say they definitely were participating in, you know, they were getting shots, but I don't know what it was. And I couldn't ask the doctor. He couldn't speak English. So, and the players couldn't speak English. So I tried to ask, but nobody really had the answer.
Mm. But you could speak Russian. Your assistant said you could speak Russian. You should have just asked him in Russian, Mike.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit of a, and people might be interested in hearing this. It's a little bit of a hush society. I mean, take the politics out of this.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of the Ural Mountains, like in Siberia, and their culture is such that you don't discuss a lot of things with people, and that's just the way it is. You don't ask questions about things that you might be. It might be changing now with the younger generation, but the older generation that they just advise me, you don't start to get involved in people's personal lives, and that's they consider that personal. If a player wanted to take something, that's his personal decision.
Are they testing for anything over there? They're not testing for anything, are they? In Russia?
No. Well, no, I'm sorry. They do. They after every game, they arbitrarily pick players to do the urine test.
Mm.
Oh, really?
So,
what are they testing for? Like drugs, I guess?
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
So
drugs meaning, cocaine or more like?
No, I think maybe steroids.
Yeah.
Maybe uppers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So your book, though, how many books have you written?
Yeah.
And is this a new one that's out, Iron Mike, or is this an older one that's, or tell us when you wrote this one. When and this just came out, right?
This just came out. It's my first book, and God bless his soul. I was working with Jay Greenberg, and Jay Greenberg was a Hall of Fame writer out of Philly. And one day I was coaching Philly my first year. He said, Mike, if you ever write a book, I'd like to write it with you. I said, okay, great. So anyway, that's in 1984. Here we are, 2012 or 2012. No, not 2012.
2024.
No, but I'm thinking.
Oh, when you wrote the book,
we were talking about it again. It was way back, like 2012 or something.
Okay.
He said, "Oh, do you want to do it?" And I was really hesitant. So then we started writing it just before COVID, and then Jay passed, and we thought he had COVID. He had, of all things, West Nile disease.
Oh.
So Scott Morrison was editing the book at the time. So I turned to Scott and I said, "Would you mind writing the book?" And he said, he knew Jay well. Jay worked for him in Toronto at one time. And so it took us 2 years, 2 more years. So it just came out. So from 2022, it took 2 years to write it, just because there was a pause for 6 months because of the death of Jay and getting things organized with the publisher. And so that was part of the process.
Listen, we've had so many players who have come on here who played for you. They all have stories of you, Mike. You know, like how often do you hear these? Do these ever people send these to you and people have memories of different things that happened playing for you?
Well, it's funny you asked me that. About a week ago, 10 days ago, we were with the gang that won the Stanley Cup 30th reunion. And now the book is completed. And when you're trying to write the history of your life, you forget some things. This book starts when I'm a child and then moves right through to the present day. Steve Larmer starts telling a story to the guys, and he says, "Well, did you put it in the book?" I said, "No, I forgot all about it." So, I mean, and then I was at Chelios's retirement, and he was telling stories I forgot with Roenick, and so
we'll tell him here, and we'll get it out for you.
Yeah. So you don't cover it all, but I'm sure that they all have a story.
Oh yeah. Well, Tony Amani had stories, man. He said a story that you asked him to rank where he was among the players on the roster, like on the whiteboard, basically. Like, go ahead and rank them. You know, you had Brian Leetch and Messier obviously at the top.
Yeah.
Where do you find yourself? And I guess you made a comment to him about him being like a rich private school kid, catered to, all this type of thing. And he just lost his mind. Don't talk about my father like that, you know? And do you remember that? I mean,
I'll tell you how that came about. So Tony Amonte was a player. I was the general manager and coach in Chicago. And I went to see this kid play a lot. Whenever I could find time, I would go and watch him play because I thought he's going to be a good player. So then when we get to New York, I don't think he had the experience in comparison to, that team was full of experienced hockey players. And we gave him up, and it was a real interesting discussion with Neil Smith because he couldn't figure out he didn't want to make any more moves because we were in first place overall. But anyway, we ended up getting Matola Noonan and McTavish. So we formulated a very experienced line that was very important to us right at the trading deadline. And we got Anderson to play with Messier. And so we made some big changes, but Tony was part of that assessment, if you like. I said he's going to be an excellent player, but our mandate is to win now, and we need help, and we needed to make those changes. So that was part of that process.
Was that part of the design for you, like to get under guys' skin, to make them uncomfortable? Like, did you like to piss the players off, or was that never really your intention?
Some of them. Put it this way, it's 82 game schedule. When I started, it was 80. And it's very difficult to have your team separate themselves from the rest of the teams. They're all competitive. Some teams are more developed than others. Some have a better chance to succeed than others. But they're all competitors. And you have to find a way, and you have to understand that they just aren't at their very best every given night. There's just too many games. So I made them stay engaged by being unpredictable, tried to get them to a different level as individuals and as a team. I would say to them, and Matteau would always tell the newcomer, what about Keenan? He says, don't have a bad warm up and don't have a bad first shift. Because when he says the game starts at 7, that's when he expects you to play right from the opening faceoff. So your first shift better be a good one. And I was unpredictable on the bench too. My bench management skills were very good. So I could identify guys. And then, your best players need to be at their best. So some days, if they're not, you give them more ice time to get them more engaged, or it's the distribution of ice time. I asked this question of Canada Cup 87, Hall of Famers, superstars, Canadians, and for Team Canada. And I said, guys, how many minutes are there in a game, a penalty-free game? And Larry Murphy shook his hand. Said, Mike, of course, we all know it's 60. I said, no, actually, Murph, it's not. It's 720. It's the distribution of 360 minutes that I'm in control of, because there's 6 players on the ice at any given time, and the opposition has the same. So my responsibility is to delineate the 360 minutes, and that's penalty free. And for our team, and also if I'm doing my job, I know, and I could do this almost to 30 seconds. I could tell you what everybody else, all the team members on the opposition team played in a particular game. So, then I just went up to the whiteboard and I said, it was Gretzky. Do you mind if Wayne plays 25 minutes? Do you mind if Mark plays 25 minutes? Do you mind if Mario plays 20? Do you mind, if Glenn Anderson, Hall, or Raymond Bork, or Paul Cobb, or Larry Murphy? I go on and on and on. Now the delineation of ice time and gets down to the bottom, and Rick Tocchet hasn't had any minutes yet. There's 5 minutes left. And I said, only for penalty free. So it's an example, I guess, of, and a lengthy answer to your question of keeping them on edge, if you like, or just being unpredictable. Practices as well. I ran excellent practices, a lot of specificity. Your muscle memory to organize the team and the players so they don't. It's muscle memory that comes to life. If you practice at half speed and you go in a breakaway and you're skating half speed in practice, your muscle memory is completely different, because in a game somebody's probably hunting you down. You're going full speed. It's not the same muscle memory. So the practice were crisp, short, not very long at all, and but high tempo.
That's what I like. That's what a lot of people like too. What about Alexei Kovalev? Sometimes you had to, speaking of ice time, keep him out there for about a good 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, that was a story where, and I wrote about it, that I tried to get him to understand, you're a great player, super talented. And I said, but your shifts are too long. I said, if you play 20 shifts at 1 minute, that's 20 minutes. But what I'd like you to do is play 40 shifts at 30 seconds and bring the tempo of your game up. You understand? Oh, of course I understand. So he stays out, overextends it. And then the other problem was the player behind him, the rotating player behind him, often would miss a shift because he'd stay out for 2 shifts. So anyway, one day in New York, I said, we got to try to teach him how this works. So I said to the team, when he comes over to the bench, just tell him, wave to him, tell him to go back. He thought I loved him. Then he comes over to the bench. I said, when he tries to go in the door, don't let him in. Tell him to go back out. And then he said, now he's going to come over and try to step into the box. I said, push him back and don't let him get his leg into the. So he stayed out for the rest of the period. And then we're going off the ice. And I said, Mark, can you look after this? He says, yeah, no problem, Mike. So he spoke to him, and he really was a difference maker for us in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, so talented, man.
Very talented.
So talented. Adam Graves. There's a story about him getting in a fight by the bench, and he beat the shit out of the guy, and then he turned around and said to you that you're next. Is that true?
No. I don't think so.
That's funny.
I mean, people tell us these
I
stories,
know,
Mike.
you
You would have to remember if
Yeah.
Adam Graves looked at you and said, "You're
No.
fucking
Yeah.
next."
No.
Real quick, like again, when we look up all your stuff, there's so many things that people talk about and stuff like that. What about the time? And I'm sure you've seen this somewhere, or somebody sent this to you, or talked about it. When you're coaching Chicago and Eddie's on the bench, and you went over there and you grab him, and you have this look in your eyes, and you were so pissed at him, and he didn't show much emotion. I know he had his mask on, but do you remember that? Do you remember what you said to him?
Yeah, I do. I specifically remember what I said to him. So when we started the season, and I did this when I came to the NHL, there were a lot of coaches were entertaining the idea that the goalie can't be playing that many games and we should split them 50-50 and 40 games each. So I started with Pelle Lindbergh and then Hexy and two Hall, and God bless Pelle, and two Vezina Trophy winners. Then Eddie came and I sent him away twice. I don't know if you know that. Yeah, I said, "Hey, you're not ready for the NHL yet." So one year he went to Saginaw, and one year he went to the Canadian national team. Then he finally came to us, and I said, "Eddie, would you like to play like 80% of the games?" And he said, "Of course I would." And I said, "Well, there's going to be some nights our team's not responding, and I'm going to pull you, or to play that many games, maybe one or two nights you're not spot on with your job." And so, or the other reason I said, I may want to pull the goalie just so I got a lot more time to give the officials a bunch of crap. So anyway, this one I pull him, and then as you saw, that's why I walked down to him. That's what I said to him. I said, "Eddie, do you remember our discussion about playing 80%? I said, "Do you?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, be quiet." That was the end of it.
Oh, you pulled the goalies a lot, Mike. What
Yeah.
was your deal with that? What was the strategy?
Well, sometimes it was to get the team energized. Sometimes I can remember when we were playing the Stanley Cup Finals against in my first year, '85, and Edmonton were given a 5-on-3 power play, and I pulled the goalie, and I could hear Gretz coming over to slats and says, "What's going on? What's he doing?" Well, by the time they all got organized mentally about it, the penalties were over. They didn't score. So that's just one extreme example, I guess. I didn't do it very often. I pulled goalies. We were down in Toronto against the Maple Leafs in the second period, and I pulled a goalie, and Pat Quinn's yelling, "Too many men on the ice, too many." And then he looked down, our net is empty. He didn't realize that we were going to the attack. I just instinctively had a feeling, because I had seven Vezina Trophy winners, and then Mike Richter won the Stanley Cup. So I played them a lot. Look at how much Grant Fuhr played in St. Louis. I think Grant might have played 71 games.
79 or something like that. Whatever it was.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And you sent him home during training camp because he was overweight.
That's right. That's right.
He said scale. He said your scale was wrong, though.
Bobby
he
Kersey,
said
you
that's
guys,
right.
you guys who know
Oh,
who
hell
Jackie
yeah,
is,
Jackie's
Bobby,
husband. Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby looked after him, got him into great shape. But then when we went into the final part of the year and it started to get nice, I said, "Grant, you don't even have to come to practice. I know you love golf. Just go and golf, and then make sure you show up for game day." He said, "Well, that's terrific, Mike." So
Yeah, you traded Cujo right before that. Hey, if
Yeah.
you had to do the Shanahan Pronger trade over, I mean, Pronger ended up being a Hall of Fame player, won a Hart Trophy here, obviously, and a Norris at the same time. And Shanahan had a great career. But looking back on it, you still feel, even to this, I mean, you trade a 50-goal scorer, and it worked out for everybody. But do you feel like that was the smart move, the best move to make at the time? Or do you feel like maybe you wouldn't have done it?
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the ownership came to me, and I'm now the manager and the coach.
Mm-hmm.
And the ownership came to me, this is flat truth, and said, you have to trade Brett Hull, Al McGinnis, and Brendan Shanahan. because we can't afford them. They're all making $3 million. I said, there's going to be a mess. There's going to be a mess. I said, the first guy I know I can trade is Brendan because he's the youngest. And obviously, it made a fantastic trade because Chris was 7 years younger than Brendan. But I said, there's going to be a mess. They said, we can't afford it. So I trade him. And we went down. We were in the Kiel Center at the time. It's called Kiel.
Yeah.
We go into the press room, and I forget who was with me. I forget it wasn't Mike Shanahan or Jack Quinn. It was one of the ownership group. Got to the door, stopped, and I said, "Where are you going?" He walked down. He says, "I'm going to live here for the rest of my life. You're not." So he sensed it. Then it's going to be a mess. So then when that happened, they said, well, we're not going to, you better not trade the other two. We'll have to find a way of finding the money. So that's what happened in that case.
Although you said Pronger's going to win a Norris Trophy one day at the time of the trade.
Yeah, I did. I did a lot of homework on Chris before I made that deal, but I said he's going to win a Hart Trophy. He's not. He's going to be the best defenseman in the league one day, and then he ends up winning the Hart Trophy. Then he wins up the Stanley Cup. And, he really blossomed even in his first year with us. He was young and had to do some maturing. But when we started playing the playoffs he was playing with Al.
Oh, yeah.
And you could see right then this guy's going to be a superstar.
And you were hard on him, man. You were so hard on him, right? He tells the stories.
Yeah, we had him.
Was that what was the reasoning for that? You felt like you needed to get the most out of him? Like, what was the thought process?
Well, he didn't tell you all the stories, but I also flew Chris's parents to St. Louis. I never, ever, ever engaged with parents, but I said, I'm going to call his parents. And Roger Nielsen was in the office with me with his parents and Chris. And I said, Chris, you got to get more focused on your game here. And so, and I said, I'm going to be very firm with you because you need some direction. You're young and you're having a lot of fun, but this is your profession. And I didn't have to, after that meeting, I didn't have many discussions with him anymore. His parents said, Chris, this is your career. So let's get it organized.
Was he going out a lot? Was it you just had to settle him down? Was
Was
he not prepared for practice?
I don't tell stories out of school, but I told you he didn't tell you all the stories.
I got you. That's all you need to say.
Well, listen,
we love him too. We see him all the time.
And he would admit
he
that,
knows.
man, that he was young and having fun here in St. Louis. Hey, listen, set the record straight. What's the real story with Gretzky when he was here? You guys are at the Ritz-Carlton. I know things went down in the locker room. Maybe you may have taken some beer to his hotel room, hoping to have a conversation. Why weren't you guys able to keep him here in St. Louis? And what went down with that conversation you had with him at the hotel? Did you know that he was going to leave?
Well, we thought first of all, it took me a few months to get him, and I don't know if he had to give permission. And I called the manager of their team. I should know his name. I can't remember it.
Which team? LA you're talking about?
LA.
Okay.
And I called him almost every day for over 2 months. And then we finally said all those young guys that none of them really made a splash in NHL for Wayne, just draft picks. Sam McMaster was the manager.
Okay.
And I knew him from junior hockey when I coached Peterborough. He was in Sault Ste. Marie. Anyway, we make the trade, and because Janet was from St. Louis, and we thought that would work out, but I never got involved with his contract negotiations because I left that to Jack Quinn, and I'm sure Mike Shanahan had something to do with it as well, because I said, I can't, in this case, guys, I don't want to get involved in the contract negotiations with a player of this status. and because I have to coach them, and I know you guys are going to be firm, and Wayne's agent and at the time was a tough negotiator as well, and deservingly so. And the Blues just felt they couldn't reach those numbers that they were discussing, or the payment method that they were discussing. And then, yeah, I did go to the hotel, but they're businessmen too. Mm-hmm. And Wayne did well. He went to New York, and I'm sure, I can tell you, I walk into Times Square and there's a full-blown photo of Wayne Gretzky in Times Square. So it's unfortunate it didn't last. The ownership changed in St. Louis when I was there. I don't know if you guys would know that or remember it. So
big time.
It was those changes that happened to me a few times where the ownership changed, and then like that happened in New York as well. Stanley Jaffe was the chairman of the board of Paramount, and he wanted me. And then halfway through the year, Paramount sold it to Sumner Redstone, who owned Viacom, and they fired Stanley. So, Mike Shanahan, who hired me, was out too. And then I think it was Jerry Ritter, who was working for Budweiser. And so it was, just unfortunate. That happens in business when when people buy something of that, wealth involved, and they have their own choices of managers or executives or whatever the case might be.
Yeah. Was it stressful coaching in St. Louis? I mean, I remember as a kid that the media was all over you and Hawley, and they'd go to Hawley after practice when he would just say anything. I don't know. Did you read the paper when you walked around town? Were fans good to you? Like, how was that whole?
I never read the paper ever in any city. And I always had this saying. I said, when you're losing, they can't help you. And when you're winning, you don't need them. So that was the approach I took. And I was treated fine. Like, I'd go to the malls and stuff in St. Louis. And the only time that I really got badgers when I came back for the first time, and they booed me throughout the contest until I finally stood up on the bench and held my hand up, and then it sort of diffused it. And that was, but they weren't, the media was not kind to me at all in St. Louis.
Hey, how'd you get along with Brian Burke in Vancouver? And did he really threaten to fight you, Mike, inside the dress? Because you asked him to trade. You said you need to trade Pavel Bure, right? Or he told the story.
No, see, that's
okay. See, tell us. Yeah, tell us.
No. Brian, I was hired by John McCaw, who owned the Canucks, and that was upon the request of Mark Messier. They weren't doing well, and Tom Rennie was coaching, so I flew to Seattle. John asked me to come out, and he said, "This is the worst negotiations I've ever been in, sport or business." And he said, "You're the coach. How much do you want, and how long is the term?" I was out to dinner with him, and I said, "Well, okay, I'll be fair with you. I give him a reasonable number, in 3 years." So I think it was 700,000, and at the time that was. But there was no manager. So then I got there and they said, well, they had a couple of guys that didn't have much experience in that position. So they asked me, and then they finally said, well, try to make some trades. And one of the first trades I made there, again, Trevor Linden for Bertuzzi, McCabe, and Ruutu. That parlayed into. Eventually, Brian Burke used it and got the Sedin twins, but Brian came later. And then there was discussion about trading Pavel, but I didn't have any issues with Pavel. In fact, the reason I got the job in Florida, again, another player, Pavel Bure, he went to the owner there and said, I want Mike Keenan as the coach here. So, but Brian and I did have a discussion. It was in my office. A heated discussion that Glenn Hamlin jumped in between the two of us about the players or the team or something of that nature. And then, of course, he fired me. They probably should have hired a manager first before they hired the coach, but they didn't. And then the only thing that I was disagreed with or disappointed in Brian is that he had our public relations manager call me on a Friday night on an all-star weekend. And Brian never talked to me about it until Sunday. And everybody, the PR director, I think it was Devin Smith at the time, or Romwell, called me and said, Mike, I got to tell you, you're going to be fired. It's in the paper tomorrow. And I said, what? I was just up in Whistler, and I thought it was a late night call to tell me that a parent was ill or something, So anyway, that was that.
Okay, well, because he said like something like, I told Mike, you ever pull a stunt like that again, I'm gonna beat the snot out of you or something like that. So I don't know if that was. Hey, no. Everything gets embellished; it gets lost in translation. But one of the greatest brawls ever, Mike, was the Flyers in Montreal.
Oh yeah.
And so what? You locked Ron Hextall in a closet. He was probably trying to get out there, but you didn't want him to get hurt, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. I said, and then he was cussing me out because he's a fiery guy. And he said, I got to go and help my teammates. I said, how you're going to help your teammates? I'm going to lock you in this. You're going to stay locked in here because I can't afford to have you break your hand because I know you're going to get the fight for sure. So, and then we beat Montreal that night, and he was unbelievable in the first period. They came at us hard, and he held the fort for us, and we went on to win and knocked them out. And then we went to Stanley Cup Finals against Edmonton.
He must have been going crazy.
Yeah,
he was.
How was he?
God, he was.
How was he to coach? Like him being fiery. Because I want to ask you about Dominic
Hasek.
Hasek
Yes.
also, man, from Chicago.
Yep.
Just dealing with him. Did you truly believe he had the ability to turn into the Dominator and Dominic Hasek that we obviously know
I'll tell
today?
you a quick story about both these guys. So Dominic was a backup goalie. He came as sort of Eddie had got the spot, and then
was
Dominic
he Panger's backup?
No. And so anyway, expansion comes, and now we can only protect one goalie.
Okay.
So we go through gyrations, and I go down to Quebec City, talk to Pierre Paget about Eric Lindros coming to Chicago, and then I'd have Chelios, Roenick, Lindros, but we couldn't get a deal done. Finally, we did get a deal done, and we had to give up one of the goalies. So I can't remember which one. But anyway, Mr. Wirtz was in the owner's suite, and Marcel Aubou come in and said, well, the deal our managers have made is okay, but I want $5 million. And Billy Wirtz just went crazy. I mean, his nickname was Dollar Bill. So Marcel runs out of the room and goes down the hall. He goes into the Flyers room and the Rangers room and asks for $15 million, which he got from the Flyers. So anyway, back to the Dominic Hasek story. So I've got to put one of them. I got both goalies. I put one of them on waivers. I put Dominic on waivers. Buffalo takes him. John Muckler. And I made a deal with John because I had to get rid of a goalie. And I didn't know Dominic well enough yet. He hadn't played that much compared to Eddie. So anyway, John puts him on waivers. I'm the only team. I claim him back. And the NHL says, you can't have him back because you trade him. I said, he's on waivers. I'm the only guy that picked him. Why can't I have him back? They said, well, we're not going to let you do that. I said, oh, come on. So
Really?
that was Dominik Hasek.
Did you think he had that type of potential, though?
I didn't know for sure, but I don't know if you guys would know this. I brought Tretiak over from Russia to be the goalie coach, and he was just fantastic with both of them, both Eddie and Dominic. And a quick story about that. So we're out in the ice and practice, and Tretiak would always wear his full gear when he was coaching the goalies.
As a goalie coach?
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw a video of that.
Full gear.
That's
And
awesome.
it was awesome. So I said, guys, good news, bad news. I said, the good news is we have Mr. Tretiak here to help our goalies. He's doing a fantastic job. The bad news is he's better than both of them. So the team just started laughing. Anyway.
I love that, man.
How about the skill set? Like I grew up watching Pavel Bure too. I'm a St. Louis kid, but Pavel Bure was so loud and unique. Like, how do you look at his skill set? And then you look at like a Connor McDavid today. Like, what's the difference between the two?
Well, both of them are electric, are magical, but Pavel, and I haven't been around the NHL enough to see what happens when Connor gets the puck. I see what happens when he's playing, but when Pavel's first came in and then he started, when he'd pick up the puck, everybody in the building would stand up. Yeah. I mean, it was dynamic. It was unbelievable. Like they call him the Rocket Man, like he was being shot right out of a rocket. And with Connor McDavid, obviously, is the same. A quick story on Connor McDavid. I was doing a charity function here in Ontario, and a summer game. I had a bunch of NHL players on both teams, and that was for charity. And I was on one bench, and there was an NHL coach on the other bench. And this young kid came up on my team before the game, said, Mr. Keenan, I'm really happy that you're coaching me, and it's a real honor. So really polite kid, you know. I said, okay, thank you. So we go out there, and there's Shane Corson, Dougie Gilmore, a couple other NHL. And this young kid goes out, and he's 16 or 17 years old. First shift, I said to Doug Gilmore, I said, who is that? He's like a rocket. He said, that's going to be the best player in the world someday. So I just started, oh, my God. So he's from Newmarket, and the game was at Barrie, which was like 45-minute drive away. So, and then after the game, he thanked me again for letting him play. It was unbelievable. So nice young man.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, so what stories are in the book? You don't want to give away the book, but I mean, what do you focus on the most? I mean, are you telling stories like this? Like, because I do want to say, like,
a few of the stories I've told you are in the book.
Okay.
So
we need more stories. Give me a better. What's your favorite story, Mike? Give me some. I want Mike Keenan's story time.
I can't tell you my favorite story.
When was the last time you talked to Neil Smith?
Okay, I'm going to tell you one more story, then I'm going to go. Okay. So you're talking about being assertive, aggressive, unpredictable, firm coach. By the way, I'll just segue away from that just for a second. I'll come back to the story. We did a charity function in New York, and a lot of the hockey players from the Ranger team was there. Matteau was there, and there was a lot of Jet players, football, basketball, and Stefan says, you guys, you don't realize how tough Mike was on us. And they started laughing. They said, tough? He said, Belichick. We had him as an assistant coach. He was ruthless. So anyway, story. So this fella comes into I won't tell you who it is, comes into my office and said, Mike, I should be playing more. You've got me on the fourth line. He's a centerman. And I said, yeah, but look at the three guys ahead of you. And I go over the three guys, and I said, they're just a little bit better than you, and I still should play more. So now I'm getting aggravated a bit because the other three guys were better. I said, you're making $650,000. You're playing on the fourth line. You're killing some penalties. You're playing about 10 minutes a game. Your family loves it here. Your two daughters love their schoolmates. Your wife likes the ladies on the team, and so you should be happy. You're playing in the NHL. And then he gets that, and I said, "You really want to know why you're on the fourth line?" He said, "Yes, I do." I said, "Because there's no fifth line. Get out of my office."
Oh, sit down.
Was that Roenick?
No.
No.
Roenick loved you, man.
Yeah,
He told a story about how you put him in a chokehold one time on the bench, but then he said you're the most influential person in the
Yes.
history of his career.
Yes, he did.
Who's going into the Hall of Fame this year too. So
Yeah. Yes.
you
Good
know,
guy, good player, good man.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
we like him a lot.
Guys coming in to ask for trades, man. I mean, that was I'm sure that happened often. Did you let guys vent, or would you say, "Hey, just get out of here"? Like when Rick Tocchet, did you tell Rick Tocchet to get out of your office? Because I hear you would hand over your credit card too to players and say, "Hey, go out and buy the boys some drinks."
One fellow was trying to call me. I didn't answer. It was Micheal Goulet.
Oh, it's good. He put up $3,000, right, or whatever.
No, I took him to Banff, and I said, "No skiing, but we got a break, so enjoy you." So first day, three guys come down. I'm on the slope with my wife and my daughter, and these guys spray me with, oh, come on. It's Belfour, Chelios, and Roenick. I said, "Get out of here. I don't see you. I can't." I said, "If one of you break your legs, I'm going to lose my job. So get out of here." So anyway, we take him to a country bar, and I love live music. And so I take him as a team, and there's live music, and we're having beers, and I'm having beers with them. And then 11 o'clock, I says, "Well, it's time for the coach to go home." So I don't want to hang with them. I spent a little bit of time with them, and that's fine. So I hand my credit card to Michelle. I said, "Michelle, look after the guys and bring me the receipt and my credit card in the morning." So he brings in, it's $10,000. I says, "How much did you guys drink?" $10,000. He says, "Oh, no, Mike. I bought drinks for the entire bar all night."
$10,000.
We didn't even talk about Hully too, but I love the fact that Hully will now say that like you guys have a great relationship and everything. Because when you left St. Louis, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you like Brett Hull at the time when you left?
I didn't dislike Brett. He went on a podcast later with me. He said, like, I didn't even want to coach. I didn't want anybody to coach me. I said, that was quite obvious.
He's so damn good though, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Superstar.
Who's the best pure goal scorer you coached? Pure goal scorer.
He's got to be up there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll tell you a little Hully story. So I'm out in La Quinta at a professional golf tournament, and they have an amateur section there too. And I know Brett's playing. I could hear him coming down. Like, you're supposed to be a little bit quiet. I could hear him. So I'm sitting on I think it was the 11th green, and quiet. And then I don't let him see me, and I can hear, and he's putting. He did well. Then I walked. There was the tee box was very close to that green, so I walked over there, stood there, and then he saw me. He came running. He lifted me up off my feet with a bear hug. He was supposed to tee off first. He's go ahead. I got to talk to my coach. So he hung there, and then he gets up, and now he's the last to tee off, and he just right down the middle, just hammers it. And he says, "How's that for a slap shot, Mike?"
Hey, Mike, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want people to remember you? And what do you want your legacy to be, Mike? When it's all said and done, like how do you want to be remembered as a NHL coach?
Well, I think I will be remembered as a winner. Won a lot, and was tough but fair. So,
is there anywhere you almost went to that you didn't take the job? A team?
The place that I went to that I didn't take that
you got offered, you almost took the job, but you decided not to.
No.
You took all of them.
I was interviewed by the Toronto Maple Leafs by Ken Dryden.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't working. I can't. You'd have to look up when Ken was a manager there. Anyway, I went to his house for an interview, typical talking hockey, and then he started talking to me about why I would pull goalies. Well, then he got upset. I said to myself, I'm never going to get this job.
Why do you get
Because
upset?
he's the goalie, and
Yeah.
he was upset that I pulled Belfour or something. I don't know.
Okay. Would you have liked to coach in like a Toronto or Montreal? Montreal, I don't know about the French speaking stuff, but he's coached in Russia. Shit,
Yeah.
You can coach
Yeah.
anywhere. But would
That
you
would
have
be
liked to coach in
interesting.
Toronto? Yeah.
That would have been interesting, but the media was intense in a lot of cities I coached in, including St. Louis. So,
Mm-hmm.
New York doesn't get any more intense than that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Did you like it when players would fight back with you? Like, did you get more respect for a player?
absolutely. If I would challenge them in a certain way and got a response out of them, I'd say, well, good for you. Now I know you understand. So
I like that.
I get that.
Hey,
Yeah.
tell our viewers, listen, pick up the book, Iron
No
Mike.
doubt. Yeah.
Where can they get it? I mean, I just imagine anywhere you get books, right? So,
stores, and you can order online. My Life Behind the Bench.
are we going to bring you to St. Louis and have a book signing or what,
Yeah.
Mike? Let's go.
Oh no, I couldn't go there. I mean, they run me out of town.
I think you're wrong on that.
We'll protect
I
you.
think you're wrong on
We'll
that.
protect
St.
you.
Louis fans, they want to talk to you.
That's
They're
right.
going to read that book, just so you know.
I think we should have you come in.
Get in here.
We'll sell it out.
We'll sell the shit out of that
Let's
book.
do a Q&A
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the Blues
Yes.
fans.
They would love that.
Let's clear the air, Mike. Come on.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
don't
bring-
have a problem. If I'm invited, I'll show up.
We're going
I
to
know
make
you
that
will.
happen, man.
All right, Mike.
Hey,
Take
all
care
the
of yourself.
best.
guys.
And happy Thanksgiving to
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving.
Likewise, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Anytime.
Talk
Thank
to
you
you.
very much.
All the best,
Have
Mike.
a good night.
You too.
See you, buddy.
Take care. The Chemistry Podcast is brought to you by Bellman. BEHLMANN. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy.
Troy, Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. That was Iron Mike, baby. Mike Keenan
Hell yeah.
on the Chemistry Podcast.
Can we just be honest with him?
On the painting party or no?
Enough of that.
No, but now
No,
after,
no,
after
no,
I
no,
told you
enough
about
with
the
that.
painting party,
I say enough.
you would actually go to that.
I would say just I wouldn't talk about
But
that.
just say you'd go to it.
No, I
No,
wouldn't.
you would.
No, I would not. I don't know why you would be so confident and
I
think
think you
that
would.
way.
I think you would.
Okay.
And it wasn't a painting party.
You're the one that said it, man. You're acting like I'm throwing this at you. You brought it up, and I was just like, I was
wasn't
confused.
Like,
I
come
just,
over for a painting party. It would just be like
Nah, yeah, you're
people
right.
would party
That's
and then
cool.
like look out at the mountains and start
Yeah.
painting. Dude, that's what artists do. You know
No,
that.
I know. You guys are all. It's all good.
You ever seen like an artist like
You're just
they
digging.
go outside and find them a beautiful like
I know.
area to like chill and paint.
No, it sounds like a good time.
Cam wants to do like beer bongs with the.
I want to go chase girls
Well, you can do that too.
at the painting party.
Sure you
I
can.
bet.
What were you gonna say? What were you gonna say about Iron Mike?
Can we just be honest with the people
About what? Always, dude.
that we didn't interview them yet?
No, we're doing it today.
Yeah, so we can't really break it down for you.
We
So
had a guest
can we
that had to reschedule.
Okay.
Like last.
can we say who it is?
No.
Okay.
We'll do
That's
it
fine.
next week. We will.
Okay, I was gonna say, and then
Yeah.
so we had it.
Because
This,
it's not like shit happens, dude. I don't take it personal.
no, 100%. But I just want the people to know that it's hard getting a guest every week and trying to keep.
Well,
like,
when
just-
you're going for like, we could get a guest every single day.
we want somebody different.
but when you
That's why
when you go for the biggest names in the history of the game, dude. It's,
We want different people. We want people that maybe we interviewed that are big dogs from back in the day that we were in like COVID or just stuff like that.
Cam
It's-
didn't know how to interview back then.
No, I know.
Still
I was ju-
doesn't.
I was
But
I was a hockey player, and then I turned into this. So anyway, but I'm saying like, so we're interviewing him later on today.
Yeah.
And so we haven't done it yet.
Okay, what's the big deal?
Well, we were to break it down. So if we're not breaking
Oh,
down
we're
the
not-
interview,
yeah, yeah.
So that's why
We'll
it's
break
all
it down.
good.
He coached the Rangers. He coached the Blues.
Well, maybe he said something crazy, and we would
Yeah.
talk about it.
Well, we'll talk about it next
So
time.
that's why it's
Yeah,
all good.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I just want to be
No, I'm
clear.
glad you said that.
But dude, Andy, like it's fucking hard. Like
Dude,
it's
I know.
to keep this podcast going is a lot more difficult than you think. Like it's tough to coordinate it, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, I chirp Andy a lot, but he's got a lot on his fucking shoulders trying to get these guests. to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So
I try to get Cam's help sometimes.
what do you mean? I'm always there
I'm
to help
just
you.
Not very responsive sometimes.
To me?
Yes,
I know. Sometimes I'll text guys I don't get. I'm like, damn.
What did you do to this guy?
I don't know. If I saw him somewhere, I think they did. It's probably like, I don't know. It's just a couple guys.
Yeah, I know.
It's just a couple guys.
Yeah, it's not normal.
Not too many.
No.
Not too many.
No.
Everybody's pretty cool, man.
No, I would agree with that.
But it's just hard. It's hard to keep this thing up, just so you guys know. But we're gonna have a good one with Iron Mike, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Or we just had one with Iron Mike.
Yeah. Yeah. All good.
Give me your power rankings. Do you have who's your favorite team to watch in the league right now?
Well, I think the best team in the league right now would probably be Dallas. They look pretty good. I would say that
Calgary's 3-0 too.
I know, but I look at their lineup and I'm like, okay, who's supposed to be 3-0? Who's supposed to be legit right now? Well, Dallas is supposed to be fucking legit. And if you look up and down their lineup, they're pretty gosh dang loaded.
Okay.
And they've been in the mix for a long time. They've had a lot of the core guys still doing their thing, and they got a lot of young guys. Steinkoven, all these young guys stepping up, doing their thing. So I think Dallas is the one right now that everybody's kind of looking at, like, what's up, baby?
Hey, speaking of Dallas, Logan Stankoven, I said it on my other show, and I sometimes I forget to say it on here. I may have said it on Twitter, interviews and whatnot, but he's my front runner to win the Calder, man. He's still considered a rookie. He was so good in the playoffs last year.
I know.
Down the stretch. Ben Bishop talking about how you can't knock him off the puck and all this, but he can play any style of hockey you want, man.
Yeah.
You want it to be a grind game, he will be in the mix. If it's a run and gun game, he's in the mix. This guy's blocking shots. He's finishing checks. He's taking hits to make a play.
Yeah.
He's dangling. He's a net front guy. He can score off the rush. He is so much fun to watch, dude.
So, I mean, Dallas, I would say, Utah might fall off a little bit. They're probably running on
So I just
gasoline.
have him. People talk about Michkov.
How's he doing, by the way?
I don't think he's scored yet, but
Okay. I haven't seen
He will.
I haven't seen him play
Mhm.
a full game yet. I've seen a couple of highlights here and there,
Yeah.
but I'm curious of this kid.
Yeah. And there's some other ones, who are going to be, good for a long. I don't know if Dylan Gunther. He's not considered a rook. No, he's not. Definitely not.
Okay.
Oh, and Columbus, by the way. Kent Johnson, dude. I want to give him a shout out.
Yeah.
Like, he was a high pick. And I always wonder with Columbus if they made his mistake the last couple of years by just putting these guys directly in the NHL. I know he had a good rookie season and whatever. And then he really kind of took a step back.
Yeah.
Had a shoulder injury last year. I think it was in March when he hurt himself. So he's been rehabbing all summer long. But he just came back. He looks way more confident. But he's only played 10 games in the American League. And I just don't know what the rush is sometimes to get these guys to the NHL. So I don't know what went down with all that and with some of these other guys, but the American League is there for a reason. And I don't know why more teams don't feel like, hey,
There
listen,
it
I'm
is.
going to use the NHL to develop my kids, to get them confident. And so when they're ready to go, man, they're going to come up and they're going to be impact
You
players.
mean use the American League?
Use the American League.
Yeah, absolutely. Let them grind it for a little bit. Let them figure some things out.
Yeah, let them ride the bus.
Let them ride the bus. Let them want to, have a dream. Like, you have this dream of playing in the NHL, and all of a sudden you're just there, and you shouldn't be there, but they want to give you an opportunity.
Yeah.
It's different than almost there, then you're down, you're like, wait a minute. Okay. I certainly don't want to be here. I'm going to do everything I can. I know they're all watching me.
Mhm.
The coaches are usually really cool down there.
Yeah.
They're really going to help you out as much as possible with anything you
And
need.
listen, when you're a high draft pick, you're going to play the entire game down there. They're going to have you on the first power play.
No. You're going to be playing 3-3 the
Mhm.
entire game,
Mhm.
every single game.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, that was hell.
Mhm.
I don't want to do it again. Then you're going to play Wednesday. Then you're going to do it again.
Yeah.
On the bus.
But
guys are
I feel
shitting
like
their
some
pants.
of these teams just go so crazy by promoting these high draft picks that they have no choice. They got to put them in. They promoted them all summer long. That's how we're selling tickets, and now all of a sudden we're going to sell. No,
Yeah.
you know what I
might be
mean?
Right on that. Yep.
But
I
it's
know.
like, pump the brakes.
Calm down.
I don't care if you draft them 3rd overall, 5th overall,
Calm
whatever it is.
Calm down.
Pump the brakes.
Yep.
Get them down to the American League. Let them play some, unless, if it's
Celebrini, I mean,
if it's Connor Bedard or something like that.
no,
then,
he's ready. No.
First overall picks are a little bit different, right?
Totally. But the third could be a big drop-off. They don't rush the situation. Let them figure it out. Hell, the year before, either they're playing juniors or they're playing college or
Mhm.
whatever it is, and they're not. It's not realistic.
Right.
Go play some realistic American League hockey first. Get
Macklin,
bumped around
Macklin
a little
Celebrini, his amazing goal.
bit. Mhm.
The most amazing goal.
Holly's like, that wasn't I said it. Guy goes, you see Celebrini's? I mean, that wasn't fucking amazing.
So I'm reading on, and I watched the game live because it was against St. Louis, and it was an ESPN game. But they're going crazy. Yeah. Oh my God, intermission. Oh my God, Macklin Celebrini. The ticker on NHL Network, it's like Celebrini scores an amazing goal on first time. Dude, he spun around, blindly threw the puck to the middle of the ice, and it went off a skate of an opposing player and went in the net. If it didn't go directly into the net, it's probably a turnover, right? You just basically. So listen, he's got amazing skill. He's going to be an amazing player for a long time. This isn't really a chirp on Macklin Celebrini. It counts. It's his first ever career goal. But I think they embellished the creativity and how amazing it was. He threw the puck to the middle of the ice and went off the defenseman's skate and went into the net. So that's what happened. His assist to Tyler Toffoli was a nice play from behind the net. Every time this guy gets the puck, he kind of brings you out of his chair. He's got those quick hands. Yeah. You're expecting something good to happen. I love watching him play. He's going to be a great player for a long time. He's hurt now, and now he's on injured reserve. So apparently he's got like a hip injury or something like that.
Yeah, he's hurt.
So
week to week.
We're not going to see the Bedard versus Celebrini matchup that a lot of people were excited to see. But he's going to be a great player for a long time. But just calm down. You don't have to go too crazy.
Just calm down. Now, he's NHL ready, though. He's still skating like he's NHL ready. If you watch, you could just tell. But a lot of guys aren't.
Oh, no, he's NHL ready.
Let him soak down in the minors, though. I'm just telling you.
Let him play.
Even Doug talked about that. He's like, no, he made some mistakes with some guys.
Yeah. Soak?
Ooh, yeah, can't do that. You know what that means, by the way?
You told me what it means.
It's true. It's really odd.
And they rock.
I'm going to be talking, if I'm up in Utah, Salt Lake City, I'm going to ask about that.
They shake the bed.
So somebody's in there with you? Interesting. I mean, Well,
I don't even know if this is true. This is what Cam says.
Look it up. Look it up. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. Is it as bizarre as Andy's painting night with the boys? I don't know.
But just think of Ken Johnson, spent some time in the minors, and now he's coming up, and he's ready now.
Yeah, he's full piss of vinegar, man.
So
now you're there. Now you're living in the life that you've been dreaming of.
Yeah.
Fucking go down.
Instead, the last years, you're like, oh, is this guy ever going to be the guy we thought we had?
There's a lot of guys in the 2004, maybe 2003 draft that played in that lockout year in 2004 that just took them to the next level. Oh, there he is. Damn, you're going to have to call him back.
We just had to give him a shout out.
Yeah. So anyway, I think a lot of that during the 2004 lockout, which was great minor league hockey at the time with everybody sent down and stuff like that, really helped out a lot of guys. Riding the bus, doing their thing, playing in every situation. I remember Zach Parisi down there. God, he had a hell of a year. They just kept playing him, doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
He morphed into a hell of a hockey player.
I just think it's okay to go play in the minors, man.
It is okay, dude. Unless you're a big dog and already know who those guys are. But anybody kind of hitter, just on the edge, no, go play down there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get smacked around. Go play against men.
Mm-hmm. Go
play against 35-year-old freaking men with 4 kids that are grinding it out. Play against that strong-ass dude that's been doing this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You've been playing against your same age guys and maybe a guy's a couple years older than you.
Dangle that carrot out in front of their nose, man.
Yeah, it's here. You want to fly on that jet? You want that money?
Do
you want to go play in Utica or in Springfield in front of 400 people in freezing cold locker rooms?
Utica. What happens in Utica?
It's just a town in New York. Probably a blue collar town that just factory stuff, kind of like Binghamton.
All right, great interviews coming up. By the way, we appreciate Mike Keenan for joining us on this edition.
Damn right.
Brought to you by First Forum, firstforum.com, firstforum.com/Cam&Strick. Use our link and only our link.
Damn right. Check these bad boys out right yonder.
The energy drinks.
Damn good.
One a day I drink.
Yeah, they're good. I'll probably I'll take a couple. I get a bunch of them, but I'll have one before.
I've been handing out to people
hockey.
I've been handing out beef sticks to kids.
Good.
Just put them on the table like it's the NHL. After practice.
Yeah. That's a good little.
Come get a beef stick.
Kids are so goofy what they eat these days, man. And a lot of kids are even back in the day too. Don't get me wrong. Maybe it's a little bit different now and whatnot. but they're so picky, man. I talk to parents like, God, my kid doesn't eat anything. Like he's fucking like it's unbelievable. He eats like a bird, eats like Andy, basically. And like you gotta have like you don't need eggs. They don't want eggs in the morning. Like sometimes you just gotta suck it up and eat. They won't eat before the game, dude. You have to make them. Well, they like it, but they're just not hungry in the morning. I don't give a shit. I'm not hungry in the morning sometimes either. But you have to put something in your system. Get out of here. That's the easiest thing in the world. He has no fucking fuel during the game.
I had that issue with Ty because like we skate early in the morning. Like he won't eat before.
Get him protein shake. Get him protein shake then. You got first form right there. Make him a cool, nice protein shake.
Okay.
You're damn right. Sip on this. No, Ty. You have to
He'll
sip
eat
on
a banana
this.
or
that's fine.
Or an apple or something.
A banana's cool. You know, what about a piece of toast with peanut butter?
I don't let him eat in my car though. That's part of the
whatever. Sometimes you got to eat in the car, Andy. Good God. You know, like, but put a little peanut butter on a banana. Just eat. You have to eat that.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you got to put your foot down too.
Yeah, I know.
That's fuel.
But I like the shake idea. I'm just gonna
make a little shake. Put a fucking banana in the shake. Shake that mug up.
Eat
put
the
some
shake.
Drink. No. This needs to be finished before we get there.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
No problem.
Finish that before we get there. You got protein. You got everything you need. Now you're good.
Firstform.com/CannonStrick. Use our link. Illinois Recovery Center. Again, reach out to us. My DMs are always open if you want to reach out to me. Eric Conley.
Me too, man.
Chrissy.
All my DMs are open. Chrissy Pondoff, Eric Conley. Yeah, message me. Just like everybody does. Message me. I'll send you that way. I'll talk to you.
But send them to Chrissy and Eric.
I know. I'll send them to Chrissy and Eric too. No doubt about it. But sometimes you need to talk first with people.
Fine.
Okay. It's like, okay, I'm going. Like there's a process to it, Andy. So get a hold of me, whatever it is. I'll get you a hold of Chrissy and Eric, man. They will take care of you. Swansea, Illinois. I don't give a fuck where you live.
How's Boo Boo the cat?
She shit on the thing again.
Oh my God! What thing?
There's blood in her stomach.
Oh my God! Okay, I didn't mean to ask
Jesus
all that.
Christ.
Okay,
like,
Jesus.
You know what? Dogs and cats go through that.
I know they do.
So
I went through it before.
I'm one of these. You know, I was wearing my dad all weekend more than anything. But I got Boo and her. It's just it is what it is.
Okay.
She's getting old, dude, and it's going to happen here soon. And
I understand.
It is what it is.
Okay, I understand. Blue Note Roofing. David Novak, 314-920-5713. Call him today. You can get that new roof, siding, gutters, soffit fascia, man, whatever it is you're looking for. He's the best in the business, and he
great
is
human being,
a great supporter of hockey, and he'll love to talk hockey with you.
Damn right.
Hat Launch and hatlaunch.com. Cam, get yourself a new hat.
Check this bad boy out right here, baby.
Get your company to represent your company when they're out in public. Every hat tells a story, man. Tell yours with Hat Launch and hatlaunch.com, baby. Shilly plastering. Turn your backyard into an absolute oasis.
Yeah. You'll never want to leave. Eventually, it'll save you money.
Where are those pictures from? Where were you guys at last weekend? My backyard.
My backyard.
That's what I was doing.
Man, oh man.
SparksHockey.com. Don't go to Seth, man. Seth will ruin your weekend.
Well, he might not even be there.
He might ruin the season. He may not even be there to open it up.
Yeah, you might not even be there. Now your kid has a freaking huge nick. He's going to be falling in the boards and bust his AC joint at 8 years old.
It's the worst.
Now he's hurt because of a stupid thing like your skates.
So preventable.
Exactly.
SparksHockey.com. Use that promo code CannonStrick. It's going to save you more money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Proper Cannabis. CannonStrick 20 will save you 20%, man. Get your weekend going. Get off to a good start. Get that sleep routine the way that it should be. Feel good. You're dealing with pain. You don't need to live in pain.
No, you don't.
Talk to the people at Proper Cannabis.
Hell yeah.
Bellman. At Bellman, you get
swinging decks.
But you get sushi and flavored water.
And
say hi to Danny, boy.
Danny, what up, boy?
And Kenny?
Kenny.
And Dale?
Is that fucking Dale? I told you to get back to fucking work.
God dang it, Dale.
Damn it, Dale. It's always god dang Dale. Hey, Dale, what's up, baby?
Dang, Dale. All right, listen, subscribe and follow and everything else, man.
Love you guys.
Appreciate all the support.
Love all y'all, man. We love you guys.
All y'all.